Hey, what's going on, everybody, man? Good to see everybody. We are live. Mr. Arsenal podcast is already in there. What's going on, guys? Good to see you guys. Arsenal's playing tonight, and it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy game at all, man. So I'm going to run through the team sheets with you. Sorry, guys, my phone's going crazy here at the moment. I'm going to run through the team sheet with you guys, and we'll have a look and see where we are. Can't wait for this game. Really excited for this game, to be honest. Facebook, I have to check that everybody's okay. Let me just check that Facebook's okay. Let me see if the stream is on Facebook. Yes, it is. Okay, Facebook is cool. Facebook is live. What's going on to you guys at Facebook? What's going on, people? What's going on, James? James is in the house. Nice to see you here, brother. And again, Mr. Arsenal podcast. Nice to see you there. What's happening, people? Can't wait for this game, man. Let's look at the team sheet now and see where we are. And first of all, let me just check on the platform and format. It should be on BT Sports. Let me just check BT Sports first. I haven't even got my app open, you guys. Right, yes, it is. It's on BT Sports. I'm just going to boot it up now so I can get coverage of the game. Let me turn the volume down here. Right, team sheet. Let's see where we are. Yeah, I just realized it's on BT Sport. What's going on, Andrew? What's going on, my brother? Nice to see you, man. What's going on, people? Just got the feed, and the team sheet is looking pretty good. What's going on, Cool K? Cool K's like, yo to you as well, brother. Yo to you as well. And I'm just trying to fire this up now. So, guys, team sheet. What have we got here? 18's in the house as well. What's going on, 18? What's going on, my brother? Got Ebony here with me as well. Let me just let Ebony in. Ebony, what's going on, honey?
Yeah, everything's... Let me turn this down. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Looking forward to the match.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm not taking Molde or Molde. Not quite sure how you pronounce the name lightly at all, as I said in the chat.
I'll just say Moldy. I'll just say Moldy.
But yeah, doing my radio shows and that, which I need to get you on, and Tony and Bertram and everybody else, Neomis, La African Guna. But yeah, I'm hoping that I've seen the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just about to go through it.
I'm not happy with the defense at all. Well, two members of the defense. I think you know who they are.
But don't you think it's okay to do that on a weekly game, on a Europa game against this type of competition? If it was Napoli or Valencia or someone like that, then it's a different story. But you can afford to actually float those kind of players in these games that don't really, I'm not going to say it doesn't really mean that much, but come on, let's be fair. The group stages are not that difficult. If you literally could, you can do the moonwalk backwards through these group stages. So they don't really count until you get to the knockout stages. That's where you like, look, done all of that, play your best team and get through, win it and make the Champions League. That's where it all starts. Here and now, it ain't really that important.
Yeah, so, I understand that, but I mean, if you take into consideration, and believe it or not, I do try to give Mustafi a chance because there is a good game in him. But the amount of mistakes that he makes, I mean, you just have to go back to Leicester. And Kolasinac, if you're going to play him, he has to be a winger. He can't defend. He's more of a forward player. Yes, we have the rotation system, and fair enough, it is always good to rest certain players for certain games.
Yeah.
But I just think that, with the record of those two, can we afford to play them in this stage? Maybe. Okay, fair enough. But I'll be watching those two in particular, and I'll be also watching Willian as well, because I thought he was absolutely dreadful against Man U. I mean, like in our chats that we have, people were saying that Willian was good. I'm not quite sure who they were watching, but I think
I said he was average, didn't I? I did say he was average. Yeah, I did say he was average. I said he wasn't that great, but then he wasn't that good either. I like the running he was doing. I like the energy, but he was giving an awful lot of balls away. So listen, tonight could be a good game for him. Who knows?
I hope so. I mean, I'm hoping that he can actually bring back the Fulham magic that he displayed against Fulham. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. As for the rest of the team, I'm pretty happy with it.
Let's talk about the team and see who's playing. By the way, so we've got Leno in goal. We've got Maitland-Niles, which I'm really happy to see. Mustafi, David Luiz, and Klasnach at the 4 at the back. The 3 in the midfield. This is pretty good. Ceballos, Xhaka are playing the holding role, and Willian's playing the pivot role at the 8. And then we've got Willock, Pepe, and Nketiah up front as the front 3 players, which I think is an interesting lineup. What's your thoughts on it?
I thought Runarsson was going to be in goal, but you know how I feel about Leno. I think everybody knows how I feel about Leno. He needs to cut out that dawdling indecisiveness in his game.
What is going on? Okay, so BT Sports is saying it's actually 3-4-3, and Xhaka's playing left back.
Oh, for crying out loud!
This is some mad kind of thing. This is some Donald Trump kind of thing right now. Xhaka is playing left back. I'm absolutely finished. James is saying,
can he actually play there?
I don't think he can. Come on, he's the guy. How stiff is this guy's hips? He ain't a left back. But look, if we can control the game in the midfield and then their half of the field, let's remember also it's a home game, right? So if we can control the game and keep them on the back foot, then you're not really going to have to worry essentially with a left back or any of the defense to a point. Look at what happened with. I'm not saying this team's anywhere near Dundalk. This team's a much better team than Dundalk. But Dundalk, we were playing 2 at the back. We had 2 at the back.
Oh God!
What's going on, Cricket Ball, man? What's going on, my brother? How you doing, man? We read somewhere that Arteta wants the coach Xhaka to be a centre back. Oh dear, I hope not. We've seen how that's happened with Eric Dyer at Spurs. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just that, but what's one of Xhaka's weaknesses? Yeah. You can't run at him. He doesn't win a lot of duels, and he lacks aerial duels.
He doesn't do much. I mean, with him, it's backwards, sideways with him. Once in a while he'll play that ball forward. Once in a while he'll make that 30-yard plus kick, which we've yet to see again in 2020. Yeah. I forgot about him actually when I was talking about Mustafi and Kolasinac. I'm just thinking, well, okay, you want to rest players, you want to do the rotation, fine, but why put him there? If you're going to include him, put him where he normally plays, and that's defensive midfield, not left back.
Yeah, I mean,
if you play him left back, you're going to expect him to make those crosses. And I don't know whether he can cross or not. I've never seen him cross.
I've just got a message from Mark T, so I'm just going to send him an invite. Let me send him an invite quickly.
Oh dear.
Let me just send Mark an invite quickly. Come on. Right, okay, let's get him an invite over. Mark's saying that he wants to come in at this. He wants to come in at this. Right, the game has started, by the way, guys.
Right, let me go into my phone.
Yeah, the game has started, by the way. And it's funny because Molde actually on the front foot. They're the ones that have had possession over the last, over the first minute or so. Maitland-Niles trying to win the ball, and he's just had a slight knock there. So what's going on, everybody, man? Good to see you guys in the chat. Already got 15 people watching. We got somebody on Facebook as well, which is James. Nice, James. What's going on, my brother? And Andrew saying a balanced panel. Yeah, Mark is coming in a minute. I don't know where the other guys are. I've not really had that much messages. I've been really busy today as well. Work has been nuts today, man. So I haven't even had a chance. All I know is I've been listening to the Trump vote, CNN, and NBC. I've been on that all day while I'm working. So that is mad.
What's wrong with my
So we've got a crossing at the moment, which is easily dealt with by Molde. We've got Maitland-Niles playing a 1-2 in, running into the box. And it's a cross into the box. Oh, Eddie Nketiah just misses it. What a chance. He just misses it. Joe Willock with the ball in the slip, guys. Joe Willock with the ball in the slip. He gets the ball, he's onside. He puts in a nice little cheeky cross. And Nketiah makes that run into the first defender and just slightly misses it. If he had a touch on that, man, that would have been in the back of the net. So close.
I missed that. So I'm sure they're going to replay it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very, very, very close. Good chance there. These are the balls that we want to see that comes into Eddie Nketiah. We want to see these balls being whipped him all day. Funny, there's no Cedric Soares today. They've decided to go with Niles. Mark, how you doing, bro?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just trying to get my earbuds working so we don't get any feedback.
I hear you, man. I mean, normally I'm the guy that sets the tone on the feedback. It's just for you. It just comes in a lot clearer when you put headphones on.
Well, I put these things in. They said they're connected, but I'm not hearing them. So I'm just going to check what's going on there.
I hear you.
The ball now.
James is saying, is Reece injured? He got a slight little knock in training, but it wasn't that bad. I'm not sure why he's on the team sheet. Why he's not on the team sheet, to be honest, mate. And I'm still baffled about Smith Rowe. I don't know
what's happened. What's happened to him? Is he injured?
He's not injured, as far as I know. As far as I know, he's not injured. And the thing is,
Eddie Nketiah almost scored again.
Oh, look! He played the football from Willock. It's saved by the goalie. Oh, that was a close one, guys. That was a close one. So it looks like, I don't know what BT Sports was talking about, but Arsenal have set up in the 4-2-3-1 formation. Willian started on the left, Pepe started on the right, and Willock is playing the number 10 position. They really like Willock there. But you can see this. Willock plays in again. Actually, it's Pepe that plays in Nketiah this time. Nketiah tries to side foot the goalkeeper and makes a smart save. And then they just kick it out for a goal. So it's a corner to Arsenal.
What minute are you? I'm on 3:20.
I'm on 5 minutes.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm a minute.
I'm on
5:30.
Yeah, Mark with that Sky. Have you got it through Sky or on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is direct through Sky.
Right, so that's why you're quicker than me. I'm on my mobile phone here. So I've got it on the mobile, on the EE. 2 good chances. James is on 5:13. Strikers, it's Nketiah up front, and he's got Pepe and Willian. They've decided, really, to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. So Nketiah is the point man. And then you've got Willian, Pepe, and Willock, who are playing behind Nketiah. And so far, they've looked quite dangerous. Nketiah is going to make those runs, and when he makes those runs, you've got to give him the ball. You've got to let him have it. And he's causing them all kinds of problems at the moment. Nketiah, a strong candidate to once again hit the back of the net for Arsenal today.
Okay, here we go again. I'm a minute behind, so. Ooh, close.
I think that's what you just saw. Pepe's got the ball, guys. Pepe runs with the ball, plays it into the middle of the box, and nothing happens. He hits it straight to a blue shirt, which is not what you want to see. We want to see some end product, Pepe. You can see Molde is quite a decent team. They're on the attack with Arsenal. Who's that just gave the ball away? Is that Xhaka?
It was Xhaka. It was an absolute classic. Xhaka on a bad night.
I think it was Ceballos, bro. I think it was
the camera immediately cut to Xhaka afterwards. I'll rewind.
I believe it's Xhaka.
So that's probably because you're ahead of me slightly, Mark. So it's probably something that hasn't happened yet. On that one, I'm sure it was Ceballos.
We've had 3 good chances
No,
so far.
I think it's the same one. But it was an ambitious ball from Xhaka looking for Maitland-Niles on the right. I think that just went out behind the goal.
I've got to say,
I rewound it just to check it.
I've got
and
to
he's
say,
just made another very risky pass.
Oh man, it's like a deer in the headlights, man. Andrew, Balogun isn't even on the bench, so we've got no Smith Rowe, no Reece Nelson, and no Balogun, which is very, very strange. Look, Willian shouldn't really be in there, should he? Because you want to see Willian in the first team.
That was a nice move, Pepe.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Pepe. Pepe needs to get more games, needs to deliver performances like he did last week. Keep on scoring, keep on playing well, keep on assisting. But I'm a little bit miffed why we haven't seen Smith Rowe has been a complete no-show this season. Balogun played last week. He ain't even on the bench. Yeah, Purple, I heard he had an early knock on Monday a couple of days ago, but it wasn't anything serious, which is what I heard. Victor again in the house representing Big Botia. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button, guys. You know it always is a sweet thing when you hit that like button. Show your support for the channel. We've got 7 likes on the video. Let's pump it up a little bit more, guys.
Why make you captain?
Yeah, because they're mugs, man. I can't deal with that at all. You know I can't deal with that. That's like suffering for me, yeah? That's like suffering, man.
He is the most experienced Arsenal player on the field. I mean, you could theoretically have gone David Luiz, but that would be a weird one. Leno hasn't really been captain very often. Who would have been the other choice as captain?
Willian.
He's not been here 2 minutes.
Yeah, I would have given it to David Luiz. That would have been a no-brainer.
So would I. Yeah, he's a better leader.
You know, that's a no-brainer for me. How many teams has he captained? How many Champions League medals has he got? Xhaka, never in Xhaka's day. Never in a million. Arsenal again in the final third, guys. Some nice, neat stuff from Willock. What a ball. Willock spins past 2 players and slides a through ball into Pepe. Pepe has no idea. Pepe's like a deer in the headlights. He has no idea what he's doing, and he loses possession of the ball. So far, not impressed with what I've seen by Pepe in the final third. Pepe's lost the ball 3 times.
He needs to. I'm not quite sure what's wrong there.
But Willock has been the real deal here at the moment, guys. It looks like Molde sitting pretty deep as well. You can see I'm counting 6 men on the back line, 3 in front of them, and then the 2 up front.
Well, I'm going to keep quiet because I'm on another meeting as well. So, but I am watching.
Oh, it's a crossing. And
I'm keeping quiet because I'm ahead of you guys, and yeah, when you join in halfway through and you're ahead, you're in this weird position of having to comment on things that people haven't yet seen yet.
No, comment on anything you see first, man. We want instant reaction here. Otherwise, the people in the panel, in the chat room, are probably going to get ahead of you in terms of news. Who have we got? We got Moniz. What's going on, Moniz? Pepe has to be focused. I totally agree, mate. We need a more focused game from Pepe. He's been a little bit lackadaisical today, losing the ball in key areas. Don't really like what I've seen from him so far, but I do like what I've seen from Willock. And listen, if Willock is putting in his performances, then we're gonna have. It's not going to be long until we see him in the first team. Some goals going in around the league. I don't know which games that they're going in at the moment, but let's just focus on this one for now.
What was the final score at Tottenham? I saw it was 2-1 last time I looked at it. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go into. People are pinging me messages. People are pinging me messages. It was Tottenham 3, Lundgrets 1. Kane and Lucas Moura, Celso scored their goals. People are pinging me messages
So
about
many
the
games.
election. Mad thing. Yes, guys, Joe Biden is still ahead, 253 votes against Trump's 214. So if anything changes, I'll let you know straight away. Moniz is saying possession's really bad. It's not too bad in terms of the build-up. It's when we get to the final third. Willock knows what he's doing with the ball, but nobody else has done. And let's be fair, Nketiah's had a chance, and it was saved for a corner. Pepe's with the cross. That is awful by Pepe. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Oh my!
The delivery into the
God.
box and a lot of the forward passing has been definitely substandard.
What was that, Pepe, man?
Oof.
Pepe scratching his head because he just realised he's messed
Cross
up.
from the.
You got to be better. You got to do better than that, Pepe. And the supply came from Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles looking really busy down that right-hand side today. Molde has played the ball out of the back. Arsenal in full press mode.
Ceballos just makes a good interception there, as there was. What's going on at the moment? Looks like the referee's. What's the referee waiting on? Oh, that's right. Somebody's receiving some kind of assistance. When a referee moves to the side, it looks like one of the referee's assistants is having problems with his microphone. Well, yeah, these are the technical issues that come from the advances in technology. So yeah, we have to stop the game for a dodgy microphone. This is the first time I've seen a game held up for the referee's assistant having a problem with his technology.
Yeah,
I suppose you could say that suggests the technology's been going pretty well, because those of us that work in the media with microphones, there's a lot of problems. So yeah, it's quite surprising that they don't have more issues.
And guys, for all those pagan fans out there, happy bonfire night to all of you in the UK. It's something, actually, I don't really want to talk about why I don't celebrate it, but I used to do it for the kids every year. And something happened in my life, and then I stopped. And I haven't done fireworks since, which is a real shame.
Halloween's for the pagans. I think, technically speaking, bonfire night is either for the people that believe in Parliament or the people that hate it, or one way or the other.
One way or the other, yeah.
It's been celebrated for hundreds of years. It's been celebrated for hundreds of years because they didn't manage to blow up the place. Whereas there are some people who think they need a rocket up their backsides at the moment. But we shouldn't get into politics, really. Not while we're watching football.
Yeah, true.
I'm trying to escape the headaches of uncounted ballots in Pennsylvania for 90 minutes. Let's see if we can focus on the men in red and forget the Orange Man for a while.
If Trump wins, America's taken a huge step backwards.
Well, they already have for the last 4 years.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's an even bigger step backwards. Anyway, back to the game.
Ooh, Leno comes and punches from a cross put in from the left-hand side.
Oh, he's back to his punching again, man. Come on, Leno. Cool K saying, feel sorry for Pepe. I think he knows he's bottling his chance at Arsenal. That's not good, mate. And he also says, hate it when Karen Carney commentates our games. I've got used to her. Yeah, I've got used to her. Let's just say that.
What's wrong? What's wrong with her?
I like her. I've got used to her. She's a bit corny sometimes, but that's nice. And we want to see our Arsenal women commentating on our games. We want to see it.
Oh, what's wrong with her? She's a damn good commentator, as far as I'm concerned.
She knows her game, man.
In other news, we've got more microphone problems. Oh, okay. The second attempt, hopefully they've managed to sort out the assistant's battery pack for his microphone. How much stoppage time are we going to have as a result of microphone technical issues?
So we've got DK. What's going on, DK? DK's in the house. He's a new subscriber. He's from Nepal. Nice to see you, bro. I hope you enjoy the channel. Hit that like button, and I hope you enjoy the content. There is a link below to the 101 page on Facebook. So if you'd like to go there and subscribe, then you'll be able to get daily news updates. There's about 4,000 of us on there, and it's a good bunch of guys, man. All love Arsenal. Yeah, so enjoy the 101 community, my friend. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. James is saying, I think she's great. I think she's
Especially
great at the job.
It's 2 a.m. in the morning, Nepal. Respect to the 2 a.m. mob there out in Nepal. These evening kickoffs are not easy for people in the middle of the Asian continent. So yeah.
And I know what that's like. I'm a Skins fan.
Where's our Americans today?
Yeah, well, Bertram works, doesn't he? So he's only free until about 10 o'clock. Yeah. So normally if we have a 10 o'clock thing late night, then he'll be able to come on, but he normally can't do these games in the midweek.
Yeah, this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern.
So guys, Arsenal really going through the right-hand side a lot with Willock and Maitland-Niles, and they are trying to use Pepe. They are trying. At the moment, Willian's the one who's really suffering in this game. Willian's hardly had a touch of the ball, because they're really trying to get Pepe into the game. Maybe they should kind of switch it and go more to Willian's side. And as I say that, that's exactly what they've done. Because Pepe hasn't done anything with the ball, man. And I like the fact that they're just, Arsenal just building on their possession. What have we got here?
I'd like to say that so far there hasn't been too much threat from Molde, but the trouble with this Arsenal team is, at some point, even a half-decent team will find a chance against us. So it doesn't matter how long we have a significant chunk of possession. It's all about, can we actually take our chances? Can we create some chances? Because even that has been a challenge. It's a decent ball. Ooh, Willock got right to the byline, almost on the corner of the 6-yard box, pulls it back, but only into the hand of the keeper.
Wasn't Willock our man of the match last week? Yeah, he was. Yeah, I'm just remembering.
He was indeed. Yeah,
he was.
It's good to see him popping up in those advanced positions. It was a good ball. It was to pick out his run. But from that position, it was challenging to kind of deliver anything once he'd actually got there. It was he had to swing as he reached the ball and hope, really.
Yeah, it looks like it's played really, really flat to the line, and he's had to struggle to get his foot around it to cut it back, which is a bit of a shame. Cool K saying, I think we'll hear the results from Nevada and Pennsylvania before Granit Xhaka manages to track back. Oh no. Mad thing. Mad.
I heard Nevada is not expected to finish its count until the 12th of November. They'll declare before then, but they won't finish until the 12th of November. So yeah, that might give Granit Xhaka enough time. Oh dear, 1-0 down. Goal from 30 yards.
Oh
1-0 down.
What?
Cold left-footed shot by the Molde. I don't know if it's a centre forward or the player playing on the right, but it's a lovely finish.
Oh my god! I've got it now where Leno's trying to play it at the back, and Leno's just taking so much time. He's just not sped it up. Leno kicks it out, and it's headed back.
This is why Leno is shit.
Yeah. It's he wasn't contested. He
but the mark is also bad.
Yeah, it's Illingenson who's put them up 1-0, and it all starts from a lazy goal kick. I mean, Leno's had all day to play that out the back. When he plays it out, the header is not challenged. The player's not marked. The player's in uber spaces. If you look here, nobody's picking the player up. He's got 15, 20 yards of space, and that's all the time in the world to tuck that into the corner there.
But you know why that is? It's because we are, we're caught out in transition. We're in the process of trying to move forward, so our fullbacks have pushed on. But the ball's not supposed. The ball from the goalkeeper is not supposed to come back so quickly. Those players are out of position because of the lack of quality in the delivery from Leno. I've not been one of Leno's detractors, but yeah, you can't afford to have players giving the ball away as easily as that. And I think Willian's attempt to reach the ball is half-hearted. He doesn't appreciate how open we are behind him, so he kind of is a bit nonchalant about trying to reach the ball after it's been nodded down. One touch picks out the forward. The forward takes one touch to set himself and slots it into the corner from it's got to be 30 yards.
Yeah, the worst thing about it from me is the fact that he had so much space. I mean, Xhaka and Ceballos were covering the same angles and sitting next to each other. It's a complete waste what they're doing there. Very different to how El Nene and Partey operated against Manchester United. I mean, just awful. Klasnach, where was Klasnach? That was his side of the field. It's hilarious stuff. Well,
this is why
I know.
This,
I
this
knew
is
you
why
were coming in. I knew you were coming in.
Why question? Why are they there?
Well,
it's like Kolasinac. He can't do. He's not a defender.
Well, I'm going to answer your question. They're there to justify the fact that they're not actually playing in the first team anymore. Prince, I'm afraid so, Prince. And I'll summarize it for you as well. The ball comes into Leno. The distribution's very poor. He has a chance actually to play it out the back. It just takes too long. He kicks the ball out. The ball comes straight back to Arsenal's own half. Cream sweeps the ball into the path of Ellingson, and Ellingson has got so much space. I mean, when I say he's got space,
it's like no one's closing him down.
No one's closing him down. He's not even marked. Klasnach or Xhaka should be on him. They're nowhere to be seen. He has the time and space to place the ball 25 yards, yes? 25 yards. He whips the ball past Leno.
At left back. Is he on guard?
Leno looks like he's actually been caught on the wrong foot as well, because he just doesn't get over there. Although it is a nice finish tucked into the corner, and the Gunners are 1-0 down. It's a good finish.
It's a good finish, but at the end of the day, it's like you know what you're going to get in defence when you're going to Xhaka left back.
Yeah,
Prince
is saying I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, it's look, I said, Leno is frustrated with that goal. You can see the reaction from Mikel Arteta. It is what it is. I did say this wasn't going to be an easy game, guys. I did say.
No, I mean, there's a reason why this team has won their first two games as well.
Exactly.
But this is the problem with Arsenal is we could have 40 minutes where we dominate possession. You're going to give up chances, and against decent opposition, they will say thank you very much.
I mean, guys, let's also remember this is a home game. This is a home game, and no Norwegian team has ever beat or has ever won actually in the UK. But Arsenal are there for breaking records. They're really good at that.
No, it's very disappointing. We're just seeing several replays on the goal at the moment. And yeah, there's nobody involved in that from an Arsenal perspective who does their job efficiently.
So this is what's frustrating with me with Leno. You see on that replay, he's had Ceballos that's run up to him to get the ball out of the back. He doesn't give it to him. Maitland-Niles is waving for the ball on the right-hand side. He doesn't give it to him. He decides to then kick the ball long, and then we lose possession. It comes straight back, and it goes right into the back of the net. So for all of those people who are against playing out of the back, this is the reason why you play out of the back, so that you can control and maintain possession and keep hold of the ball rather than hitting a 50-50 ball into the midfield and losing it.
I hear you, Apollo, but actually what we've got is the worst of both worlds, because we're set up that the fullbacks have pushed on. The wing-backs are pushed on because we're expecting to retain possession, and then the possession being given away means that we're doubly exposed when we lose it. If we were playing long balls and were set up to play a long ball, the setup of a left back would have been completely different there. So it's not even you know, if we went back to playing in a George Graham or even let's take it to an even more agricultural, a Stoke City type football, you wouldn't be set up like that. But the problem is to be set up to play the ball and retain it and not have the ability to play the pass.
Yeah. I mean, Mustafi, Klasnach, and Xhaka in the same game. Is there any surprise, guys, that we're 1-0 down?
No, not at all. Not at all. You put Mustafi in defense. Mustafi is slow. Okay,
Guys in the chat, is there any surprise with these guys on our team that we are 1-0 down?
Oh, they're replaying the goal.
There's an interesting ball here, Willian. He's not got the pace anymore, Willian. There was a good through ball played, I think, from Kolasinac trying to find Willian. There were defenders on both sides of him. I think Willian 3-4 years ago might have managed to nip ahead. He's through again now onto a through ball. He's broken on the left-hand side. The cross comes off on the defence. It's an Arsenal corner. Second run was superbly timed from Willian. He curves his run brilliantly. He'll also take the corner for Arsenal on this Arsenal's left.
I'm just catching up with you
Arteta
guys.
does not look happy.
Yeah, Arteta's screwing. Willian's right. So on the left-hand side, Willian actually gets the first touch. I don't know why are you putting Willian on the left when Pepe is a natural left-footed player? I mean, what are we doing with this guy? I don't get it.
As much as I love Arteta, you know, there are some decisions that he makes that have to be questioned.
Well, I'm questioning the fact that Willian's on the left and Pepe's on the right, and it should be the other way around.
That's what I mean. It's like, you know, WTF.
Yeah. 18 saying no surprise at all, Apollo. What's going on, D? D said, "What's good, fam? What's good with you, my brother? Good for you to join us." Everybody hit that like button out there. Please like the video. It doesn't cost you a penny to do that.
Stop doing that, Leno? This guy have no respect for you.
Yeah, Leno's winding up Ebony to the max right now, man.
Great vision from Spios. Attempts to find, I think that Pepe was breaking through the centre. And Pepe actually slows his run down. I think Ceballos' ball was actually really well played, but Pepe doesn't read it. The Ivorian looks quite apologetic afterwards.
Yeah, I'm seeing him now. He's just so far out there on that right side. You've got to make them runs into the middle like Theo did. Yeah. See, this is why I talk about them runs that Theo Walcott used to make that gave himself so many one-on-one shooting opportunities. Pepe just doesn't do that. He just doesn't make that run. Like right there, he's supposed to dart behind the back line and make himself an option. You're not going to score goals if you don't try and beat the trap of that offside trap. You've got to make your runs. You've got to make your runs. Not enough opportunity there from Pepe.
I'm on 28:53.
I'm on 30 minutes and 35 seconds.
Okay.
I'm basically 2 minutes ahead of you, Ebony. About 30 seconds ahead of Apollo.
Don't worry, we'll get back. I mean, we've got all the possession. We're just not actually. We've had 3 good chances in the first half.
Yeah, it's early doors. It started like this with Rapid Wien. We went a goal down, didn't we? And then we brought Aubameyang on and Bella in, and they just changed the game, them two.
But we've actually had quite good possession. And the passing has been good, but, as you said, in the final third, it just capitulates from there.
What's funny is if they press Xhaka, Kolasinac, and Mustafi, we're in trouble. If right now we're playing the ball around at the back, slow build-up play. It's now coming to Pepe on the right. Pepe's doing some shimmies, and it's just not going anywhere at the moment. But it
doesn't go anywhere, I'm afraid. Yeah, unfortunately. Pepe shimmies lead to him knocking the ball out when he tries to knock it back towards Maitland-Niles. At the moment, the only threat really seems to be the movement of Willian on the left for Arsenal. But
Wow. Pepe's playing his way to the point where he's going to get benched in an Europa Cup, get in an Europa League game. I mean, look here. He's in front of a player. He just gets
he's just
pushed.
put the ball straight between a player's legs. Willock's pulled it. Oh, Willock managed to get onto the through ball from Pepe, which was more accident than design, I suspect, because he gets blocked off. Willock charges into the box, cuts the ball back, but unfortunately, he basically cuts back into a defender and is unable to get the cross in. It's another Arsenal corner with 33 minutes played.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it there. Oh, Willock through the legs, man. Willock is, I tell you guys, Willock's. I think Willock should be in the first team. I've not been an advocate of his, that's Bertram, but I've seen in 3 games now, I've seen some consistency from this guy. Having that midfielder that makes late runs into the box to support the front line is what we've been heavily lacking this season. And Willock can do that for you, man.
Arsenal struggling to play it out, but fortunate to get a throw in on the halfway line after very poor exchange of passes. Arteta looks really concerned.
It's a good cross from Willian. It's a good cross from Willian. He just doesn't do anything with it. How you doing, Vincey? Nice to see you, bro. How's things?
Yeah, not bad. How's everyone doing?
Not
Good
doing too bad.
evening.
We're trying to enjoy this game to give us a break from watching the presidential elections. For the last 48 hours, I've been glued to my television. I had 3 hours sleep last night and an hour sleep the night before. Just up all night watching the presidential. I'm sad, innit? But that's me, man. I love American politics.
You must be my twin, because that's exactly been me, man. Bjorn just said that.
Man. A mad thing.
Well, I managed to go to bed and got up at 6 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and I just couldn't believe that I watched about 4 or 5 hours of television and nothing happened in 4 or 5 hours.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird that you're watching it and they're talking about the same things over and over again, and you're just seeing these tiny incremental changes in the numbers, and it's just like, oh.
Middle button.
What's going on?
There seems to have been periods where they weren't even making those incremental changes, but it tells you something about the excitement level in this game that we are discussing how boring the election was.
Yeah, I agree. Cedar, what's going on, Cedar?
Are now on the attack.
Cedar saying Xhaka is not officially a first team player. I think we knew that after the performances of El Nene over the last few weeks, bro.
Willock is definitely racing his game. He just got a half decent cross in, and then he's come back and picked up the ball, collected it, given it to a defender, and he's back on the edge of the 18-yard box again. A dangerous position. Oh, great ball in from Willian, and Ketty doesn't quite make it through. Another chance for Willian to cross, and this time it goes right the way across the face, a little bit too high, and Molde clear on the right-hand side. But Pepe wins the ball back again. Pepe in Willock. Willock finds Nketiah. Nketiah tries to drag it back. This is a little bit better from Arsenal, but at the same time, it always looks like there's a threat when we start to move in the other direction.
We need to end product.
What's up, Vincey?
Oh, yeah.
How you doing?
Willian's getting involved in there, man.
No, I think Williams is one of the Williams' better games in a red shirt.
Yeah, I agree. Willock's still running the show. Let's have a look at the bench, guys. Who's on the bench? It's Runson, Macy. We've got 2 goalkeepers on the subs bench. What the heck is that all about? So no Smith Rowe, no Nelson, no Balogun.
Another Arsenal corner coming up.
But you've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. What on earth is going on there? What we're gonna sub? This is madness. We got Bellerin, Tierney, Gabriel, Saka, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Holding, Suarez, Partey, and El Nene on the bench, guys.
But can Balogun is Balogun actually eligible to play?
He played last week.
Okay.
Yeah. He came on in the last few minutes of the last game time.
He came on and looked good. He looked good, man.
Corner from the right. Willian finds, who's that? Mustafi, who's falling as he heads it well wide.
Oh, that was
Deep
defended
corner.
by...
But the connection from Mustafi is abysmal. He's like he's trying to make a defensive clearance.
Mm.
This is why he
But
needs to
Willian
go.
is delivering balls from the right-hand side. He's keeping himself on side. That last cross had too much air on it. They're just showing some recaps of the previous move where he got 2 crosses in. The first one was a really good cross. The second one definitely had too much air on it.
What's going on in the chat, family, man? How you guys doing? What's going on?
The chat's going crazy at the moment. What's the people in the chat saying? Andrew's saying, must be bad luck. I don't think I've watched the winning performance. Yeah, isn't that weird, Andrew? Like, if Andrew's at work and he can't see the game or he's out, and then sometimes we really struggle. But I think we went 1-0 against Rapid Wien last week, and then we ended up winning the game. Victor saying, let's see how the boys are going to deliver under pressure. We get a clue on what goes on in training. Yeah, that's true. Totally agree. And Ceballos playing deep like a defensive midfielder. Yeah, I totally agree. They were nowhere on the goal. Klasnach, Ceballos and Xhaka was just ball watching. And Ellingson was caught in so much space. He had all the time in the world. Any quality footballer who's half decent with his left foot would have scored in that situation.
I'm at the point now where Willian...
I mean, you can defend Arsenal by suggesting that they've only had 1 attempt, but their 1 attempt was on target. We've had 5 attempts, and we still only had 1 attempt on target. So, yeah, it's an unfortunate mistake again from Leno. I mean, I think we're gonna have to get over how many mistakes lead to goals from this man, because Rudiger's not ready to come in and be number 1. And whilst we may have had a more reliable goalkeeper, he ain't here anymore. So we do need to try and get over that and support the man who's between the sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another dangerous ball. This time Mustafi makes a clearance.
Molde
is definitely looking threatening on the break. Sorry, Vinci, what's that?
No, I was just asking Ebony what she was just saying before. You were saying.
Was that about Leno? I can't remember.
No, just before Mark, because I was going to comment on the game, but you were going to say something.
What was I going to say? Leno. He can't play from the back, and I don't know why. If it's the manager, if it's Arteta, I don't know why he insists on him playing from the back, because he's not very good at it.
G's in the house. G's just said another mistake leading to a goal from Leno. That's 2 this season, and we've only just started.
Okay, I mean, I've only just switched on, but what I'm noticing is that there seems to be a lack of energy on the ball and the pace of the ball. So it's like players are very sluggish in picking up passes. I don't know if that's been the case from the start of the game, but what I've noticed...
No, they've been quite sharp. They've been quite sharp. It's more so Pepe is the one that's really letting the team down in the final third. But everyone else is... Nketiah has made some really good runs. Maitland-Niles has been playing some great link-up play, providing Pepe with the ball. Willock has been fantastic. And Willian,
I don't understand how Willian didn't get a free kick there. The player just runs across it, runs across him, blocks him off. Bizarre.
Okay, guys, so it looks like Willian is now on the right. Willian's on the right.
Pepe is definitely on the left. He's currently in possession. Xhaka's right up with him. Ceballos is playing the deeper. Ceballos is definitely playing the deeper of the 3 Arsenal central midfielders.
So they're not playing.
Willock
They're not
is
playing
almost like an additional striker. It doesn't seem like it. It seems as though Ceballos is staying much deeper. It may be that it seems when we attack on the right, Willock pops up just inside. But that's a good ball. Pepe is now in the box. He's looking for a finish, and there's a goal. Is he onside? That's the only question. He's been flagged off. And Nketiah puts it in the net, but it will be checked. It was Pepe that played the ball in.
There's no VAR in Europa, right? Who's checking?
Is there not?
Yeah, no.
He was off anyway.
Oh, no,
he was off. Oh, hold on. No, Willock was off. And Nketiah is not off. Willock is off. But it seems you're right because there's been no.
That's ridiculous.
I'm fairly sure that that Willock is in the offside position. And Nketiah is in a brilliant position. Willock is the man at fault because Nketiah is well onside.
Yeah, and then they're going to give it for interfering with play, even though he had nothing to do with it. That should have been a Nketiah goal.
I don't think that.
He's going to get done for interference.
I don't think there's any replay. I don't think there's any VAR. So he's just been flagged as offside.
He's too close.
Yeah. Remember when Xhaka had Lacazette's goal disallowed for interfering with play? I think that's what the referee's done there.
Yeah.
The referees just said he interfered with play. That's ridiculous. Eddie gets it done, man. That's all I'm saying, man.
The good news on that is that both the cross and the finish were the men who actually played the ball did the business. The shame is that unfortunately in his urgent attack, there's another chance for Molde, pushed wide by Leno. In his urgency to get involved, Joe Willock has got ahead of the play, and that's what's caused the problem. So yes, Willock is fractionally offside, I suspect. I would love to see that with the proper VAR, but there is absolutely no doubt that Willock is that Nketiah was a mile onside at the time the ball is played. And he can't be interfering with the play because the goalkeeper isn't going to react to the player behind the player who touches the ball. I just think I think there's no VAR, and it's based on the linesman has seen a player ahead of the ball. She's just been flagged.
Is that Kolasinac at left back?
Yeah, it's
Kolasinac is left wing back.
Left wing back, and Xhaka is left back.
He just pinged a left foot ball across.
There's another chance. It's a goal. It's a goal for Arsenal. It's an own goal, I think. The ball is put in. This time, Joe Willock gets on the end of. I think it might be Eddie Nketiah has got the ball across. The ball is bundled into the middle, and the defender knocks it home. If there was VAR, they might have a shout for a foul. There ain't no VAR.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's good because that's made up for the goal that should have been in. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to say Xhaka does really well. Picks out Nketiah. Nketiah's ball appears to take a ricochet. I think there might be a double touch off Nketiah between Nketiah and the defender, or it might have just clipped the defender's heels. The ball ends up trickling into a really dangerous position, and under a lot of pressure from Willock. That's an own goal by their number 28. If this was a decent team, I'd know who that was, but I don't because they're not.
It's about time own goal got fit.
I think
helped us out.
It's how again, guys.
Yeah, own goal was one of our big players a season or two ago. He's not been pulling his weight recently.
Nah.
And that is half time. Arsenal 1, Molde 1. The defenders will feel a bit hard done by, but then Nketiah should also feel hard done by because he had a perfectly good finish ruled out for a player in an offside position who doesn't get anywhere close to playing the ball because he pinches it in front of him.
Yeah.
Arsenal 1, Molde 1. And the second half might be a little bit different. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, good play by Xhaka there, holding up the ball.
Well, I was impressed by Xhaka's pace on the break. To be brutally honest with you, I'm like, surely that can't be Xhaka that far ahead, but it was. And the distribution was good. And as I say, I think there was a slight deflection of the heel after the cross from Eddie. But yeah, he puts the ball into a very dangerous position. The Molde defender has to get there ahead of Joe Willock. And yeah, he does that. And unfortunately, it kind of cannons off leg, arm, and rolls over the line quite comically. Well, I find it funny because it's gone in their net, not ours.
I actually like the goal because it shows how strong our counter attack can be. Let's hear what the guys in there are saying. D says Nketiah's goal was wrongly disallowed. Agreed. It's karma, isn't it? You know, it's karma. Andrew, yes, Andrew, we're not going to lose this game tonight, bro. Cool Case saying Eddie is so much better than Lacazette. 1-1, well deserved after we got robbed for Eddie's goal. Yeah, I mean, if they gave that and they scored straight after, because remember, this was a counter attack, it probably would have been 2-1 to Arsenal. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing short of what they deserve. They were easily the better team in the first half. It's just them switching off has cost everybody. It's just one thing you can't afford to do. Any changes in the election, guys? While you lot are doing that, let me just check.
I find it quite interesting, the different breakdowns when in the counties when they go into them.
Wow.
I've been looking at the Guardian one because they've been going with the more states called for Biden. I prefer the 264 to the 258 that I'm seeing when I go to the BBC coverage.
They're using the Associated Press numbers, isn't it?
Yeah. So they're taking Arizona as called.
How many college seats does Biden have now? Is it still over 250 or 240?
It depends who you ask.
Yeah, because the Associated Press keep their numbers from Reuters and they send them out to all the states. They're saying that he's actually on 264. I believe it's is it Nevada?
Arizona is the difference. No, right, it's Arizona is the difference.
Yeah, because that's 11.
Arizona.
Yeah, because that's 11 electoral college votes. So yeah, they're saying that's.
I believe it's only 6, but.
So hold on, are they saying?
I think it's only 6. 8.
It's 11 for Arizona, 6 for Nevada.
So are they saying?
So why are they? Why is?
Because CNN are showing 253.
Yeah, because then they're not counting Arizona. They're not counting it. Yeah, Associated Press is already saying that it's a win. It's a lock.
Well, his 86% votes are in, and Biden's up 50.5%.
Yeah, they're saying as Associated Press are saying there's not enough votes for Trump to come back in Arizona, so they've already given it to him. CNN isn't doing that because they got their own they got their own numbers. But yeah, guys, that was the
interesting.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say the interesting count on the Guardian's website. They keep showing the count in Georgia, and there's always 50,000 votes to count. The number of Trump's margin keeps going down, but there's always another 50,000 votes to count. I'm starting to understand what Trump's complaining about. But I believe what's happening is that they are adding additional postal ballots that are postmarked before the election day get added to the pile. So they are coming off, but they're going on at a certain pace, so the number doesn't seem to change much. But some of these numbers haven't changed very much at all. In Pennsylvania, they're still saying there's 900,000 ballots left to count, according to the Guardian.
Which makes a bit of sense. It makes, because it was 1.2 million.
But yes, the football.
Cool Case saying, good ball from Pepe, great touch from Willian, right decision from Xhaka, and intelligent pullback from Eddie. 4 good actions in a row. Seems so simple, but we can F up counters so much more often. Victor saying 10 out of 10 game management, no Uber, confidence booster, and team morale. We can do it. Agreed, bro. Agreed. Andrew saying, has Xhaka got a twin brother? He's saying his pace from Xhaka.
He has got a brother. His brother plays for Albania rather than Switzerland. Yeah, they chose to play for different teams.
Yeah, I think that's why he's having a go at that. So, guys, a decent first half. It was a good start to the game, actually, the way that the team was pushing forward, creating chances. Pepe was just breaking down. For a good 20 minutes, he just wasn't good enough. He was killing most of the attacks. But then they've come on strong and actually should have had a goal through Edin Nketiah, which was disallowed because Willock was interfering with play. But Edin Nketiah and Willock went straight back a minute later and provided more pressure that's led to an own goal. So it's nothing short of what Arsenal deserves. Still plenty of work for Mikel Arteta's side to do against this impressive Molde team. The team's pretty good. I mean, they've got space. They play the ball quickly. They make good runs. And what can I say? As Mark said, they've already won 2 games in this division already, so we can't count them out.
I'm just looking at the replay of this ball, of this goal. Now, at the point when Luis plays it to Leno, there is no pressure. He has players trying to show for him. Both, I think, Ceballos is instructing him to play it. No, it's Ceballos comes short, and Leno does play the right ball, but there's just not enough pressure on it. There's not enough pressure from Eddie on that ball that's played up. And then there's not enough pressure from Willian in the middle of the park. And the distances between the Arsenal defenders are absolutely criminal.
You'd actually expect the defenders to actually speak to each other before and during the game. So that either one knows, to mark a particular player when they're actually bombing forward. But
we're showing how badly positioned Klasnac, Xhaka, and Ceballos was, and Mustafi for the goal. This is comedy.
Absolutely ridiculous. It really was.
It's just, it's embarrassing.
I don't even know if there's going to be a game tonight. NFL.
I'm not sure.
And Green Bay, San Francisco, because one of their players, Ayuk, he's in my fantasy team, who's wide receiver. He's tested positive for COVID.
Oh, right. Okay, so that could be a problem.
Quite a few wide receivers, San Francisco.
Cool K saying, look how good Eddie is, mostly due to Laka taking some horrible touches. He should be dropped. G is saying, would love to have Martinelli back for these kind of games. Yeah, me too, bro. Listen, we're talking about touches in the final third. Martinelli, that's it, bro.
Is he still injured? I take he's still injured.
No, he's back in training. He's back in full training. But he needs to, because he's not been allowed to train, he doesn't have game fitness. So they're saying he needs at least 3 weeks of training before he's ready for, and it's not just the 3 weeks. He needs 3 weeks plus a few under 21 practice games before they'll even allow him to be on the bench.
Who's that?
He's got Martinelli. So
I won't allow him.
Yeah, he's got a long recovery road. So it's going to be another month before we see him, guys.
I hope they hold him back until January, to be honest.
I think we'll see him in December. I think we'll see him in the busy Christmas period, but he won't. You're not going to see him for another 4 weeks at least.
I think it'll be longer than that. I mean, according to the Arsenal website, he's now commenced running outside in addition to his daily strengthening and recovery program. But he's only aiming to return to full training at the end of the calendar year. So I don't think you'll see him in the first team until mid-January.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked to a few guys and they've said December, mid-December is what they're aiming for.
I think mid-December is full training. But as you said, when he gets to full training, he's still 2 to 3 weeks off match fitness. So I'm not expecting for a while after that.
I've got to look after my client, so I can't have him. I can't have him burnt out, man.
Him and Callum Chambers have been gone for so long, and they were two, a couple of really, really good players, and they were first teamers for most of the part. The thing with Martinelli is, where do you play him and where do you play Saka? That's what the question was last season. Where do you play Saka and where do you play Martinelli? Yeah?
Well, you can play Martinelli on the left and you can bring Saka inside, because if Willian's not performing, then you can quite easily bring Saka inside, bring Abba up front, and there's still a lot of fluidity there and rotation.
I'm smiling because
do that.
I'm smiling because African Guna would love to be in this conversation. We're talking about Martinelli.
I'd actually play him up front. He's good enough to play up front. The goal scorer.
Yeah.
The goal scorer, and that's what you need. When Aubameyang's lazy, that's where you put Martinelli up front.
And he's got legs. He's got legs like Eddie to run. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got legs like who?
Eddie.
I mean, I think the interesting thing is he doesn't see himself as a centre forward. He sees himself as a winger. Not that we should take every player's opinion on this, because I remember a time when Thierry Henry refused. Was saying, "Well, I'm not a striker. I'm a wide man." So if the manager makes the right decision, this is the same with all the decisions that we're questioning of Mikel Arteta. Bobby Pires was all left foot, but play him on the right, and you get something very special, because that was a lot to do with the way that his vision was he had a bias on his vision. He was more able to see things when they were on the wrong flank, in theory. So that was part of why he was so successful.
Andrew's killing me. Andrew's saying, how can 49ers drop to the bottom of the division? Bro, they were in the Super Bowl last year. I have no idea how that one works out.
Is this San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah. These asking everybody
downhill.
These asking everybody, starting with you, Ebony. Ebony, what would you think of Pepe in this first half?
I thought he's been dreadful. Sorry, giving balls away. For me, if you're gonna, but that's not entirely his fault. I think if you play him on the left and you keep him on the left, he has a left foot, and you play him on the left for a reason, then he's magic. For some reason on the right hand side, he's not a two-footed player. So I'm not quite sure why Arteta is playing him on the right hand side. Okay.
Yeah, he scored last week's goal was with his right foot in the top corner. So that's the first time I've seen him use his right foot.
Precisely, but he's a left-footed player, so therefore, and he makes those crosses on the left, which we need badly, and that is why we got him in the first place. Because the reason why we got him is because we have lacked a left-footed player for God knows how long.
Van Persie.
Yeah, exactly. So and finally we get one, and you play him on the right. Doesn't make any sense. That's why it's been awful, and he's been dropping balls. But
the thing about Pepe is that when he was at his most effective in France, it wasn't about providing with his left foot. It was about finishing with his left foot. Finishing with the left foot is easier coming from the right hand side than it is coming from the left hand side. So I understand the theory. I just don't understand why he's not better at it if he's worth £72 million. If he's a £72 million player, he needs to be able to do that better. If he's a £7.2 million player, then what I'm getting is reasonable.
Yeah, if there's one thing you'll never hear from me and that's talk about his price tag. That's not the boy's fault, man. So I don't bring it up.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming him for his price tag. I'm explaining why people get very frustrated with a player who promises a lot, but delivers far too rarely.
Yeah,
you also got.
I still want to see him play, because I believe that when.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got to consider the tactics. The tactics of a manager is so key to the productivity of a player in that situation. And you hit the nail on the head. In France, he's on his left foot to finish. At Arsenal, he's receiving the ball on his left foot, and he's still got to go past so many players. So our tactics and how we're using him is completely different to the player that we saw in France. And that's going to take time based on how Arteta wants Arsenal to play for us to then get the best out of Pepe.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, I trust Arteta with what he's doing, and I loved what he did with, at Manchester City, and I trust him with Reece Nelson and Nketiah and all these young kids and Saka. I trust him because he'll develop them into some ballers. When you look at, they say a player's in his prime when he's 26, 27, 28, 29, and Pepe has just turned 25. So he's got time on his hands. This isn't a 27, 28-year-old player. It's not Lacazette is what, 29? And his goal return's been degrading each year. So this isn't that conversation that we're having. I think there's room. His ceiling is high. Why I'm impressed with Pepe is because he's got such a high ceiling. He just needs someone to unlock that talent and unlock the ability that he has, put it to use. And look, it was easy for Walcott because when Walcott didn't know what he was doing, what happened? Thierry Henry took him over at London Coney and taught him how to make his runs, taught him how to shoot low into the corners. They practiced it constantly, and it developed him. Yeah, people said that he had, that his touch wasn't great. I know that. I'm the biggest Theo fan, and I can tell you he had a horrible first touch. But what he did in terms of his urgency, the runs he made, the timing of his runs, and his finishing was impeccable. He doesn't have 108 goals for Arsenal for nothing. But with Pepe, I want to see production. I want to see goals. I want to see assists. I want to see creativity. And I believe I just have to be patient with him.
Talk across you, Apollo, but we're into the second half. Hands kicked off. There's a corner for Molde, and it goes right the way across. Somebody did make contact, and it was a Molde player because we've got throw-in. But yeah,
I just realised it's already 2 minutes into the game. Neomis, I haven't heard from you.
What's going on, Neomis?
What's your thoughts of the first half so far, mate?
It's kind of what I. Whoa.
Sorry?
Go on.
It's kind of what I expected. I knew this game was going to be a difficult one, and I knew most Arsenal fans would underestimate Molde. I still think that we'll get the win out of this, but yeah, we got 45 minutes to play for. I think overall we've kind of gotten back into the game pretty well, but we got to take it to another level and really see the game out.
I hear you, man.
But it's all Molde at the moment. Another cross coming in.
D said, but Robin was all left foot and he was unstoppable and aggressive. You know what Robin was going to do, but you couldn't stop it. His game's very similar to, you're talking about a world-class player, man. I mean, world-class player. Pepe's a pup, man. I look at him as a pup. He's got a long way to go, bro.
I don't think Pepe's got the license to play like Robin right now. I just don't think Arteta's given him that leeway to just go at players. I don't think it's been given that.
I don't think Pepe is going to be as good a player as Robin. Robin at 22 was better than Pepe is right now.
Yeah.
GK says it's not because he's not good on his right foot. That's irrelevant to where he was successful at Lille. It says that may be just due to Arteta doesn't seem any other way to get the best performance consistently. D says thanks for all of your view, guys. G says this performance is karma for having Mike Dean award a penalty.
Honestly. So we've got a corner now.
Yeah, a throw-in. I think it's a throw-in.
Yeah, very excited. It gets played right the way back. Nothing interesting going on down that side.
Yeah, as Naomi said,
Arsenal
it's like
are building again on the right-hand side.
Remember in the chat, I said that I'm not going to underestimate. Well, worse the effect. I'm not going to underestimate Molde. And the African Guna thought that we were going to win 3-0.
I was pleased when I saw the team sheet because I was worried that Arteta might feel the need to over-rotate and leave us even more exposed than we are. I mean, a team, as people have said, is Kolasinac, Mustafi and Xhaka in has got several takes from several different areas potentially. But this is a strong team. This is an experienced team. And I'm hoping that we'll nick it by the odd goal in 3, because I can see us conceding another one. There is an Arsenal corner. Willian takes from the left. It's played short to Pepe. Willian gets it again. He looks to whip it in. There's a player front post who, David Luiz gets there but can't take it in his stride. That's a really good corner routine. Unfortunately, David Luiz is not
the corner's from Willian.
Yeah, the corner from Willian plays to Pepe, short to Pepe. Willian plays it into David Luiz, whose run is good, but unfortunately, this is another situation where if he lets it run, I think that would have come through to Willock in a really dangerous position, but it was still a good move. And it's bright stuff from Arsenal early doors.
Willock's right there as well.
Yeah, Willock was definitely better placed. But, yeah. Oh, there's a player in behind for Molde. It was a dodgy little push, or attempted push from David Luiz as they countered. But fortunately, the player's been called offside. Arsenal have possession. Free kick inside the penalty area, which Leno will take.
Arsenal pressing from the from the front now, man. Good clearance, good headed clearance there by Mustafi. Great tackle there by Maitland-Niles. Right, so we've got
Maitland-Niles did really well there.
Greg G is saying Pepe really needs to do better against weak opposition like this. There's no way he should have any trouble with whoever that fullback is. Andrew's actually agreeing with D. He's not developed yet. Yeah, I'm glad you bracketed the word yet, because as I said, he's only just turned 25, and players like that, you know, he's gonna come good. He's gonna be developed. Let's have a little bit of patience. But there's no way, in my opinion, if he gets anywhere near as good as Robin, then we'll be having a completely different conversation. I don't even think.
I will.
Oh, too much.
He's not even as good as Saka, so we all know that.
It's not a great ball by Maitland-Niles there.
Too much.
We all know that now. Cool K saying, I think Molde has played better than we expected. No, bro, in my preview, I did say that they were going to be a good team. Then he says, great goal set up by Leno. G is saying, we're all piling on Pepe, but Ceballos has been completely invisible. I've been saying that for weeks. Bro, I've been saying Ceballos. I told Neomis 2 weeks ago, their brother, if he don't fix up, you know, I'm sending him back to Spain in January.
Break down the left-hand side after a great run from Ceballos. He finds Kolasinac, who gets the ball into the box, but it's cleared. That was Ceballos at his best.
I've already given
that was a good pass to Kolasinac.
I'm not going to add on to it.
Oh my God!
From by a Molde player.
That ball in from Kolasinac. Did you see Nketiah prowling there in the back line?
Oh my goodness! Kolasinac has just fired over a completely unguarded net.
Yeah.
He is beyond the post, but the goalkeeper's flapped in the middle, and he fires it over. Oh, I've just realised I'm not even live.
Yeah, but listen. Did you see the ball before that he played to Nketiah?
That was a sitter. Come on now.
Oh God, that's awful.
I could have done that.
All he has to do is keep his nerve.
Just keep it low, man.
He's just missed an open goal, guys. Kolasinac has just missed an open goal.
Yeah, well done. Get out of my team.
I was trying to defend him with that ball he played to Nketiah before. Did you see the run? See, Nketiah doesn't get respect for the runs he makes. He's on everything. He don't miss a thing. And great play by the defender.
Look he's looking up, but no, the movement's there.
Oh, dear.
Oh, bloody Jacka's on the side, isn't it?
No, I'll go look at that.
Gee, I just realised. Oh,
the African Gooner is going apeshit.
I was wondering what was wrong with our midfield.
It's funny, man. That miss is funny.
The African Gooner is going apeshit in the chat.
It's like you got.
Apologies to our listeners. We picked up on some unfortunate language from Neomis there. He didn't mean it. He really didn't mean it.
You really didn't.
Oh dear. He's not playing flipping well. That's what I heard. Yeah, something like that.
Cool K saying Willian is a turnover machine. It's not like it's high risk, high reward situation either. He just messes up simple stuff.
I don't know what's wrong with Willian. Like,
Cricket Ball saying, "Stop me from snapping."
Oh,
Yeah, Neomis, what was that?
Ceballos is actually up in his game at the moment.
I was going to say that I rate Willian, but he just hasn't been great.
He's not looked great since Fulham.
It's true.
Yeah. We got 2 assists out of him at least. I joked with you lot in that game saying he's probably used up his quota.
Oh no! You know what? That would be disappointing. No, I hope that's not the case.
Used up his quota. Do you remember we were arguing that he didn't have 3 assists? That he didn't have 3 assists. He only had 2. Yeah. I'm glad to give him the 3 for that game now because boy, he used up all of his assists.
Great turn from Nketiah. Oh, but yeah, he gets shut down well. Arsenal are really pressing well at the moment. It's attack after attack.
Some good movement by Ceballos there. Nice ball in. Pepe's taking up a central position.
Kolasinac to Pepe. Pepe pulls back, and there's a defender in the way again.
Nice turn from.
That'll be Nketiah. That was Eddie with the good turn. If you're on the bit that I think you're on.
Yeah.
Nketiah's just giving it to Xhaka.
Ceballos has just given away a cheap free kick. He's lucky not to get a yellow card for that, to be honest with you, because that looks a bit cynical.
Come on, we've got 65% possession.
Poor challenge that's on the halfway line.
Kolasinac really getting into advanced.
Have a really concerted period there.
Guys,
Kolasinac is doing what he's done at his best, which is getting into that advanced position and pulling the ball back. There was a period where all our goals, when he first joined us, every goal we scored for about 6 weeks seemed to come down that same channel.
I remember. And guys, look, let's be honest. He was 4 yards out with an open goal, skies it over the crossbar. It is on his weaker foot though, but there's no excuses, man. Seriously.
David Luiz gets a silly yellow card. David Luiz decides to shoulder barge the player and then head the ball, gets a stupid yellow card. That's Luiz at his comical clown worst.
That's madness. I mean, Ebony's mother could have done better than that.
Yep.
Mad thing.
She's in the other room, actually. She's on the phone. Oh, what?
Well, Xhaka's done better in the second half, guys. I got to admit it. I got to call it out. Where
got a yellow card for that.
Yeah, he got a yellow card for making a contact with the player that he didn't have any reason to make, except he didn't want to be challenged when he got to the ball. It was cynical. Oh, another good try from Ceballos. Gets the ball into Pepe. Pepe's on the 18-yard box. He tries to put it away. Deflects wide for a corner. There'll be a corner on the left.
Kuke just said, my stream died and I've never been happier. Sometimes you guys, man.
Ceballos has really upped his game in the last 5 minutes, though. The corner on the left-hand side, Willian will take. I suspect it will go short again to Pepe. That's what's happened every time recently. Oh, maybe not. They're going to change it. They surrounded the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's gone straight in. They surrounded the goalkeeper, and then he picks it up under absolutely no pressure. That whatever that routine was, don't do it again, boys.
Mad thing. Willian taking a corner right now, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, been and gone and done it. It was awful. Apollo, look away.
It doesn't pass the first man.
And
here we go.
They tried to kick around the goalkeeper, and all they did was find the goalkeeper.
Kuke just sent £5
away
to
with
the
a very strange challenge.
Thank you very much, Kuke. Appreciate that, bro. Thanks for the donation, guys. Anyone wants to donate the channel? You can see the £sign there in the chat room. Much appreciated for all of your support, guys. And anyone on Facebook, sorry, because you don't have that option. Well, you do have the PayPal option, but you know.
How much does this StreamYard cost? Apollo, how much is this StreamYard thing costing you?
About $240 a year. It's not too bad. Not too bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, no, I quite like this. I post stuff on Zoom, but I do quite like this setup.
Yeah, the reason why I use this because sometimes people are using mobile phones and not laptops, and what this does is, unlike OSB Studio and all that stuff, which is a lot more detailed. The power in this program is through the internet. So it doesn't matter what PC you have, what mobile phone you have, or whatever. The algorithm speeds up the performance to make sure that you guys don't drop in and out and things like that. So it's internet-based rather than dependent on the speed and power of your PC. So and it's just easy to use. At my age, you don't want to get involved in any of that heavy stuff. So it's just easier to use.
Arsenal pressing again on the right. It was Willian who found Willock, who gets onto the end of the ball, and Arsenal 2-1 up. I think it might be a second own goal.
I think it's an.
That's what I'm talking about.
Willian and Willock,
well done, Willock.
interchanging well. Willock, I think it's a. I'm not sure if it's a cross or a shot, but he gets the ball back, and another defender, another own goal. And yeah, this is a bit more like it. But yeah, it was good interchange between Willian and Willock. And then Willian and Xhaka, even though Willock and Xhaka, it's definitely an own goal.
It's definitely an own goal by Signon. Signon scored another own goal.
In his defence, just like the other one, there is a player directly behind him who would have had an empty net to tap into if he doesn't make contact. Eddie Nketiah would have put that away. Eddie's been very unlucky. He's been in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Eddie could have had a hat-trick today. Yeah.
Other players, either defenders or his own teammates, are making his life difficult. But he's been in the right place, which is important to remember when we're looking at the stats and seeing no goals. Arsenal sub Cedric Soares is coming on. Haven't seen who went off. Maitland-Niles has gone off. Saka is coming on. They haven't shown a board yet, but Saka is coming on. Willian is going off.
Sorry, guys, I'm having water. I'm just having a coughing fit. I'll be back in a second.
Two substitutions there. Saka's come on for Willian, and Cedric Soares has come on for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. We kick off again. 63 minutes played. Arsenal 2, Molde 1.
He must be trying
how's your streaming? You seem to be pretty much up to speed with me. What time have you got?
I've got
62:53.
Hold on, they're just doing. I'm 62:25. Sorry, 63:25.
Yeah, you're pretty much bang up with me.
Yeah,
I'm just a few seconds behind you lot.
Vinci, what kind of river are you flowing? Because obviously we wouldn't want to talk about streams.
I'm using the old dial. The old
what dial-up?
Dial-up. I've got dial-up internet connection.
You're something else.
Hey, Vinci's strictly CFAX. Straight off CFAX. He just put in 302 on the TV screen. Oh dear. So yeah, own goal. We said the own goal hadn't been pulling his weight. Well, he's definitely made an appearance today.
Man of the match,
Pepe.
man.
No, own goal. Own goal is definitely our most effective forward.
Which is quite disappointing. An own goal.
You know what? A goal is a goal at this point.
Yeah.
That time he got fit, own goal. That time.
Yeah, no, I think did he do a cruciate or something? Because he hasn't been representing for a while. I think it must have been ligament damage.
Pure pressure on the players, man.
Well,
Ceballos' movement in the second half has been brilliant, and so many times it's come out to that. But it's a great cross. superb ball from Ceballos out to Kolasinac on the left-hand flank. His centre finds Pepe in a superb position. He tries to take it first time, but he does take it first time, but the shot is not really one that would scare many keepers, to be honest. The keeper allows it to hit his chest, bounces down, and gets it at the second attempt. But
Andrew.
Did you see that one?
Movement has improved.
On the foot, Arteta and Edu.
Mad thing, man. Pepe trying some magic there. Andrew's saying Vincey is very relaxed. Yeah, he is. He's relaxing. He is
that's the only way I can.
He's laid back.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that relaxed, man. This cushion, I got my cushion today, so I'm not struggling too bad. But this Corona cough that I've got, I was really last 2 weeks. It's been really good, and because we're having all the work done in my house and there's dust everywhere, it's my lungs, which, as you guys know, I've got distortion in my lungs from Corona, and it's just set me off, and I've been coughing like crazy today. It's not been good.
Have you lost your sense of taste?
I did for 5 or 6 weeks, and then it came back.
Okay.
But now my sense is like Wolverine. Any little slight thing, I pick it up, it goes straight through into my throat, into my lungs. If I walk, even coffee, I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee. But if somebody's drinking it, it goes. I get right the wolf and then start coughing straight away if I walk into a room. I'm seriously, I'm like Wolverine at the moment. I'm so sensitive to smells and.
David Luiz has got intercepted a really smart-looking cross, but Arsenal are breaking now. Pepe looking to take on his man and bend it into the far corner, but he doesn't bend it. He just pushes it wide. That's the reason he's supposed to play there. He's supposed to play there because when he gets isolated one-on-one with the defender, he's supposed to be able to step inside him and bang one towards the top corner, not bang it 6 yards wide. That's not what he's there for. That's a £7.2 million player. Not that it's his fault to the price, but yeah. Still.
Here's a question for everybody and guys in the chat. What do you think has been harder for Arsenal, playing in the Europa or playing in the Premiership this season?
Premiership.
Sorry, mate, repeat the question.
What's been harder for the team, playing in the Europa or playing in the Premiership, based on how we performed?
Well, if we win tonight, we've got 3 straight wins in Europe, whereas we've lost 3 we've lost 3 games already in the Premier League. So, yeah, you've got to think Europe's been easier thus far.
Have they been convincing? I mean, Own Goal is about to win us the game today.
Yeah.
Rapid Wien was a bit up and down. I think Dundalk was probably the only one where you could say, yeah, we were.
Which is like the Norwich game. Which is like the Fulham game, first game.
Yeah, I can't answer that in the same vein, Vincey. For me, Suarez is playing like he should be playing in the first team. Willock should be coming off the bench for the team. Nelson should be coming off the bench for the team. Nketiah should be starting.
Lovely touch by Willock.
I'm looking more at the performances, really, if I've got to be honest. The results, not really.
Eddie feeds Saka. Saka pulls back. Eddie, and that's a superb finish from Pepe, coming from the left from the right on his left foot. That's the reason why you pay him from that side.
And he's been doing that regularly, guys.
Superb finish.
He's been scoring regularly in there.
Right, I'm just about to watch it now. Okay. Nice one.
It's really good play in the centre circle from Willock. Willock pushes the ball
not even
out
a challenge.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Not even a challenge from the goalkeeper.
Eddie pushes it out to Saka. When Saka strikes it, when Saka's ball finds Pepe, he's right on the corner of the D. He steps inside, hits it first time, left foot, straight into the corner. Well, it's not actually, it's quite close to the goalkeeper, but it's hard, it's low, it's conclusive.
Who gets the assist on the left? Who is that?
Saka.
That Saka who's just come on.
Another assist for Saka.
Another assist, I know. Andrew just said, Apollo, house or mansion? Oh, God. House. It's better to have house than mansion right now, bro. although I have to say every man's house is his mansion.
Yes, I'll take that from my first floor flat.
That was a really good goal by Pepe.
Can't afford a house, a mansion, and a season ticket.
Yeah.
Well, unless you won the lottery.
I just told Vincey the other day, in the 90s when I used to cover Redskins
really
games,
good chance for Molde.
I only did the season ticket.
Player gets in behind on the left-hand channel. A superb ball in finds one of the Molde forwards. His chipped effort is a bit weak, and Leno deals with it. But yeah, they got in behind far too easily again.
I think they've answered really well, and the passing in the penalty area with Willock and Willian running into the box, pulsating, quick, rapid passes, quick fire movement from Eddie Nketiah. I got to say, Vincey, I've not seen the first team do that. You do have to talk about the opposition, of course you do, but the individual performances that I'm seeing from Willock, from Nketiah, from Suarez. I know Suarez has only just come on, but I'm judging him on the 2 games he's played. I think it's been. I think
they made a very impressive interception with his face.
So in essence, it
another long distance attempt.
Yeah,
better in the Europa than the Premiership.
Yeah. I mean, the whole purpose of the squad, right?
I think the problem
is to push for positions, and you need to know that your performances are going to translate to getting you into the first team. And right now, Willock deserves to at least be getting 20 minutes in the Premier League games. But in saying that, as a number 8, as an 8 or a 10, he can definitely do it, because that tandem, the holding midfielder with Partey and El Nene, that's a lock. Ceballos and Xhaka, as far as I'm concerned, are Europa League fodder. There's no way them two should be starting in the Premier League.
So what do you say about Willian then?
He gets
Did you see my video on YouTube earlier on this week, a couple of days ago, when I talked about him?
No, I haven't seen it.
You have to play. You have to play Willian. You have to absolutely play Willian, for many various reasons, which I mentioned in the video. Because obviously you're paying this guy 220 to provide. He was a 7th best creative player in the league last year. You can't give up as a manager. You can't give up on talent like that when you know it's there. At some point, it's going to switch on, and when it does, you don't want to have him on the bench when that happens. You want to have him on the field, and you want to ensure that you've shown them the confidence and the trust, which is what players need when they're not playing so well. So I actually think that it was a smart move to start him last week, and I think we need to start him this weekend. I think you got trust in the process and to support players when they're not doing it, when they're not at their best. At the same time, you can't afford to carry a player. I get that, but he's got far too much quality in him for us to bench him, because if we bench him, we'll never see that quality. We'll never see it rise to the top. So I think you keep playing him.
What happened to Cedric? Did he get a...
There's just been... Yeah, Cedric intercepted. Oh, it's a super ball! And Nketiah, it was Willock. Willock got onto the end of a superb ball. The finish, it's weird. When I saw the finish, it wasn't his number that told me it wasn't Nketiah, it was the finish. That was not an Eddie type. It was not an Eddie type finish, but it was a superb run and a great ball. And Willock was very unlucky. Suarez, by the way, got a ball in the face and was sent to the touchline because he was bleeding from the mouth. And there's been a raft of substitutions for the Norwegians. But it was nobody coming on for nobody. One of the nobodies was called James. That's the only thing I can tell you.
It looks like Trump's going to win Georgia.
I hope not.
I think there's a good chance you will, but it's not needed. It's not the only way. It's not the only route to the.
Ooh, close. So I'm just seeing that
Ooh,
chance
that's
there.
dangerous. That's dangerous.
Done their best in the second half, Molde, haven't they, to try to get on the front foot as often as they can in the match.
Okay. Colours the match.
Made some positive changes as well, putting 2 more fresh attacking players, but I think now the game's stretching, it's suiting Arsenal to even going behind.
Hey, what's going on, Nate? Good to see you. I hope you're enjoying the game. 3-1 up. It's been quite a delightful performance in the second half as well. We had a spot of 15 minutes in the first half, but the second half, they've just come out and started playing. And they've looked pretty good in terms of the passing, the counter-attacking. There was a situation 25 minutes on the latter part of the first half was very poor. But at the same time, look, this is a good team that we're playing. We can't make no bones about it. I did say many times this, Man United have lost in Europe. Tottenham got beaten last week in Europe. Some of these teams are quite decent, and this is a decent team. They've won 2 games in our division. And, we're on fire. I totally agree, Nay. We're on fire this half. G is saying crazy talent is Saka, but frightening that he's our only major source of creativity. It's a bit unfair to say.
Just seeing a foul, got a yellow card and a bit of a knock. Saka's just got a yellow card and a bit of a knock.
Saka. It's a bit unfair to say that because Willock was our man of the match last week, and he's probably been the man of the match again today. The other guys would have to let you know what they think about that. But Willock has been everywhere, and Willock's had a hand, as well as Nketiah. They've had a hand in both the goals before Pepe's goal.
Yeah, it's a tough one because Willock also took away somebody else. It took away the perfectly good goal by being in an offside position. Short free kick, cleared. But no, I've been impressed with Willock. And Ceballos has been very impressive in the second half.
Yeah, he was quiet in the first.
Get themselves back in the frame.
Saka does well, gets back, plays it to Leno. And David Luiz is by the corner flag. I find Saka so impressive. His vision, his ability to turn. He never looks under pressure. Even that's there are players on him.
And that's why I'm saying that the unwritten rule, the gentleman's rule for Arsenal fans is not to talk about how good Saka is in comparison to Pepe. It's an unwritten rule. It's something we know. Yeah, we know it exists, but out of respect, we just don't talk about it. Am I right, Vincey?
Yeah.
Pepe's currently carrying the ball to sorry, he's got ahead of him, but he didn't look up.
This is going to be
Pepe. I mean, if you're talking about who is going to be a world-class player and you've got Pepe and Saka, you're not going to... Oh, it's a great cross. Great cross from Willock. Eddie and Nketiah heads. I don't know quite how far wide, but it was a superb ball from Willock. Yeah, I mean, Willock is going to get man of the match as it stands.
Again, he's going to get it again for the second game in a row. Europa League.
I'm seriously impressed with Saka, and I look at his age. I look at who he's had to overcome to take his team. And that's what you like to see from young players. But then you look at the senior players or players who are supposed to have more ability or experience, and they're not doing it consistently. And I can understand why G mentioned that Saka's the only major creative player in the team. Because, if you look over 2 seasons, the guy's just knocking it in. Pepe's dropped off this season, yes, because he hasn't been played a lot. But, it is concerning that if Saka's not playing in the league and performing, we're stuttering.
Well, El Nene's on the field, guys, for Ceballos. And Xhaka looks like he's coming off
And-
Thank God for that.
Tierney.
Yeah, Tierney's come on for Xhaka. Oh, it's a lovely
Proper
flick
left back.
from Pepe. Suarez. Oh, I think someone's going to be offside. It was a lovely flick from Pepe out to Suarez, who cut it back. And I don't know who was offside. Arsenal did get the ball in the back of the net, but unfortunately somebody has been flagged. The flick from Pepe was beautiful.
Man.
Saka was a mile off.
WWE essentially.
Saka was a mile off, and sadly, it's another one of those situations. Kolasinac was in quite a good position behind him, but given the position that Kolasinac has blasted wide from earlier,
backflip from Pepe.
it was a lovely touch from Pepe. Great awareness, well executed.
Eddie's put the ball in the net. I've never seen Eddie play so well and not score.
I have.
You know, he needs a goal in this game to tap off such a really good performance. Saka's like 5 yards offside.
I was offside.
No, I would agree with you, Apollo, and the reason I agree with you is because he hasn't had a whole heap of chances, and the one really good chance, the one time the ball reached him in a really good position, he put the ball in the net, only to be robbed not by a defender but by his own teammate being in an offside position.
And that's the thing. Just look at his positioning. Every time the ball goes forward like that, just look at his positioning. It's exceptional. It's absolutely exceptional. And if this guy starts in the first team, I'm telling you, he's getting 20 goals a season. He's getting more goals than Lacazette will get. The difference is Lacazette is actually starting, then Eddie's getting very, very little minutes in the first team. G saying Nketiah has played better in this game than Lacazette all season. I mean, look, he's had a hand in. He's had 2 goals disallowed because other people have been offside, and he's had a hand in the first 2 goals. You can't ask so much. You can't ask much more of him, can you?
Who's that?
The fact that he wasn't offside in the 2 disallowed goals and other people were. That is about positioning. It's about making a run in on the back of the in the 6-yard box, and he is exceptional at doing that. Yeah, as Dee said, Eddie's got incredible movement, and you know what you get. And it's not just that, but you're getting that energy and urgency from him to press the midfield as well. We're not even talking about his defensive game, which I rate so highly. He's got that in his record.
Fine, Saka. Oh, it's a good save. But it was offside anyway. Saka was offside.
The ball's in midfield on my screen right now.
Oh, that was tight on the Saka offside.
I'll see how tight it is.
Flag goes up immediately, but it could only be his shoulder. If he was offside, it could only have been his shoulder. That would have been one that the VAR would have taken some time to consider, I tell you.
And who was the ball from? Who was the assist from? Eddie Nketiah.
Eddie?
Yeah, it was Eddie with the through ball through to the centre backs. Look, here's the replay. Ball gets cut through. Eddie, look, he is just offside. Eddie pings that ball through. Oh, man. Nay is saying, how well does Willock have to play to finally get into the first? I don't know, man, because he's been the best player today and the best player last week. So, and all on the back end of last season when he scored 5-6 goals, yeah, we were asking him for these kind of performances. He weren't doing it then, but he's surely doing it now. So I'm thinking that Arteta can see this in training in the week. Arteta knows what's going on. He knows he's a quality player. Andrew's saying maybe Willock should check out what Xhaka does to get a start. Bro, Xhaka ain't starting right now. Yeah? Andrew, Xhaka ain't starting right now. Nay says Eddie works hard on both ends. 18 is saying Eddie is the real deal. He needs to play.
Yeah.
I have to say, this game has suddenly reached that point where neither team looks like it's quite so important. I think the damage limitation might be the most important, and of course the other team goes up and nearly scores. Deflected effort from James goes into the side netting.
Yeah, they've reached that point where
Mustafi had
Molde
went up for the ball, didn't do very well.
They can't lose.
David Luiz actually got the touch that put that wide, but I don't think he was very aware of where the ball was. A couple of Norwegians change on the pitch. One goes off, one comes on. You don't know who the first one is, you don't know who the second one is, so let's not worry.
That deflective one was close there, man.
Yeah, David Luiz is the person who gets the touch, but I don't think he's aware of it. The corners come in.
It hits Luiz, doesn't it?
And
That was very lucky for David Luiz, actually.
Oh, no, it hit
Especially
Tierney.
as
It was Tierney. It hit Tierney's foot. I thought it was Luiz.
Sure?
It was Tierney.
I'm fairly sure that's Luiz, but okay.
No, Tierney ran into the lane, into the gap lane, and and the ball hit him instead. I just saw the replay of it.
Okay, now
It was a
Molde have got a corner.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Doesn't go anywhere.
Nope. Arsenal are currently breaking down the left flank with Kolasinac and Tierney. Left wing back to left wing back. Tierney gets to the byline and wins the corner. 86 minutes and 30 seconds will be played. Tierney's not messing around. He doesn't wait for anybody. Plays it to Kolasinac, who plays it to El Neni. El Neni turns back, looks for Tierney. Tierney's on the left flank, finds it right the way through. Willock should have scored. That would have guaranteed him man of the match. But yes, that was good play down the left from Arsenal. Willock should have done better because the ball in from Tierney is perfect.
Yeah, Tierney's done
But
well
it's a
there.
difficult turn. I mean, I think the right ball actually there was the layoff to Pepe. He shouldn't have tried to turn like that because he still didn't manage to turn far enough. He's got his back to goal. Pepe is facing the goal. If he just touches it off,
Look at El Neni,
Pepe has the opportunity to hammer it.
Willock's just gone wide of the post.
Yeah.
Great ball by El
Another
Neni to
chance.
start
It's
that.
breaking. It's a good ball. This time Willock scores. It's 4-1. Willock has been undoubtedly the star of the night.
I'm about to watch it.
Another man of the match performance, guys. What can we say? What can we say
The
about Joe
undoubted
Willock?
star.
He scores you goals. He's that midfielder that supports your forwards in the box. Something Arsenal are seriously lacking in the Premier League, and this guy can get it done for you. Great ball by El Neni.
Aaron Ramsey with a suntan.
goal.
Brilliant.
I have to say the defending was fairly poor, but it was a superb ball. I think it's Pepe that plays it into. He takes one touch and slots it high towards the corner. The keeper does get a hand, but can only push it further into the net. Arteta is looking very happy and a far more relaxed man than he was in the first half when Arsenal were trailing. And African Gunners 3-0 doesn't look that ridiculous now that we have a 3-goal lead. So yeah, I think some of us thought that Molde were going to be a bit more of a threat than they've provided. And Arsenal are breaking again. This time it's Saka that manages to win the ball.
So is that 2 assists for Pepe? I'm trying to keep that's a goal. That's a goal and 2 assists. And African Goon is saying that what we already know, which is Willock is man of the match. He was man of the match before the goal, bro.
There wasn't really another candidate for that position. But I also have to say Pepe has actually come good in this game. The assist is actually from Pepe.
Yeah.
He
scored a goal. There's been less of that trying to hold the ball up and look like he's going to do something interesting, and more actual end product from Pepe in this second half.
Yeah,
there was way too much of that.
He's not overplaying the ball. He's not overplaying the ball now.
Well, I mean, the thing that sometimes sometimes he disappears out of the game, and sometimes he'll just hold the ball up and do interesting steps around it without actually doing anything that influences the game. And there's a good ball from Saka. Oh, that would have been nice if Nketiah could have finished it off there. He does get a touch. Eddie might have got a bit of a knock there. But yes,
And-
another great ball in from Saka. Eddie gets himself into the position, but unfortunately, he's not facing in the right direction. And the ball is pushed wide there off his head.
Andrew's saying Willock as well. What's going on? GG saying great match feed, guys. Never watched it before. It's on, man. We're doing it. I can't get to the Emirates, so I'm just covering the matches now for Facebook, multi-streaming with YouTube. So yeah, G said I'm switching to CNN. Nice.
We can do the election coverage. The election coverage is really close. Biden looks like he's going to get there, but nothing's actually changed for the last 5 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, no, what we're talking about, it's more like 10 hours since anything actually changed.
Vincey, I'm going straight back on the election. I was actually got the CNBC feed in the front room going on YouTube, so I'm going straight back to that as soon as we finish. Neomis, talk to me, man. What do you think? The second better half?
Can't hear you.
Neomis.
Oh, much better second half.
You're still silent, mate. Oh, there we go. We got you.
Oh. I predicted the game was going to be 3-1, so 4-1. I think it's expected. But yeah, I think in the second half, Arsenal just kind of made it look easy. I think when Saka came on, I think that really kind of changed the game, took it up another gear. But I think that a lot of the fringe players have done okay, but definitely Willock and probably maybe a bit of Nketiah and a bit of Pepe are really trying to send the signals that maybe we should be starting. Definitely Willock, to be really honest. I mean, I think he's had a really good game, and definitely deserves to be getting at least some minutes on the pitch. Such a shame. Real talent.
And Vincey, the goal came from Arsenal pressing high up the field to win the ball. And obviously,
that's the final whistle.
We saw El Nene's
Arsenal have won this game by 4-1.
Much better second half, much better energy. Good result, really, overall.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, 4-1. You know, we turned it on second half. You know, own goals showed up. We had 2 own goals, but it was own goals from positive play, which could quite easily have been goals for Eddie. So, you know, there's a lot of positives there. I'm happy for Pepe that he's played a bit better second half and he's took his goal well. But you know, once again, our youngsters, you got Willock. You know, this is the promising thing that we want as fans to see, that they feel at home in the Europa. You know, and that only bodes well for us moving forward in the Premiership. So yeah.
Excellent, guys. So, guys, we're just going to hang around and give our thoughts, and we can do man of the match and player ratings. We can just go around that quickly. Michelle is just saying top scorers for the team this season: Aubameyang 4, 3 own goals.
He's fit, man. You got to get his fit. I'm got fit, man.
3 own goals. Lacazette 3, Nketiah 2. Nketiah should have had 2 today, actually. But the own goals happened instead, and the goal which should have been given was disallowed because Willock was interfering with play. Pepe 1, Gabriel 1, Luis 1, Saka 1. Willock should be on 2 because he scored last week as well, so he should be on 2 for this season. Andrew saying, game done again, man. And listen, you tuning in, Andrew, is making that happen. So keep that going, man. Keep that going. All right, let me just get thoughts. Ebony, let me get your thoughts about the game. What's your feelings on the game and the result?
Okay, it was a game of 2 halves, pretty much. We did a lot better in the second half. We pressed more. I think we had a few more chances in the second half. Yes, you know, we got 2 own goals, but you know, as was alluded to, they came from us actually pushing forward as opposed to just, you know, them being own goals for the sake of own goals. Willock is my man of the match. He was everywhere.
Do you want to do your ratings, because I've got the names down there?
Okay, so no, he didn't really have a great deal to do today.
It's for giving them the first goal.
Well, it wasn't entirely his fault. You have to blame the makeshift defense. but he did okay. I mean, he made a couple of good saves. I'll give him a 6. Maitland-Niles, one of my favourite players. You know, whenever he's there, you know, he's just Maitland-Niles is one of those players that could be too much to handle, and I thought he was a bit too much today for them.
Yeah, you were good today.
Yeah, so I'd give him a 7. Mustafi, okay, Mustafi, 4. Can't defend for shit. He did actually make one good save with his head, but apart from one clearance with his head, apart from that, you know, he was one of the players at fault for their goal. 3. Louise, I actually like Louise now. I thought he was our best defender, to be honest. If he's not, he's one of these defenders whereby if he's not there, then the leadership at the back just doesn't materialize. He made some good passes. He's one of these defenders that actually that is a creator as well. So I give him a 7. Kolasinac, much better in the second half. I like the fact that he actually got a little bit more forward down the flank. 5. Ceballos, very quiet in the first half. I actually forgot that he was playing. Didn't hear from him at all. But he did make some good interceptions in the second half, so I'm going to give him a 6. Xhaka, the other player that was at fault for the goal. I mean, I don't even know why he's there. You know, why is he even captain? I mean, I was actually glad that he was off. 5. Willian played a bit better today. But for me, you know, Willian, I don't know what's up with Willian. I don't know whether he's lost his pace. I'll give him a 6. Willock, man of the match, 9. He was everywhere. The boy was everywhere. You know, I'm glad he got his goal. He made a few. He was unlucky unlucky in the first half not to get a goal. But the boy again, he was everywhere. You know, too much to handle. 9. Pepe, crap in the first half. Primarily down to the fact that he was playing on the right as opposed to the left. Can't really blame him for that. However, in second half, he played on the side that he should be playing, which is his left. Got a goal. I'll give him 7. Who's Nketiah? Anyway, Nketiah, unlucky not to score today. You know, he gets into those positions where he can actually score, but he didn't score today. And he's another player. He's one of those young, hungry players that's too much to handle.
Yeah, so he affected the first 2 goals, and as Mark said, if the own goals weren't done, they would have gone to him anyway. Yeah. And then he had the one that was just allowed. He could have done a hat trick today.
He was actually in those positions where, you know, the own goals came, but he was actually in those positions. So, but because of that, and because of the fact that he is one of those players where they just can't keep up with him, and that's what I like about the young players. They're hungry and they do a lot. That in games like this, they're more effective than the older players. So in Nketiah, I'll give him a 7.
So we've got see what the guys are saying. Andrew said we should sign up own goal. Sign him up. 80 saying Leno caused that first goal. Yeah, Agaga, I'll check out that site when we're finished with the stream, bro. Cool K's gone for Leno 2. That's a bit harsh. Maitland-Niles 7, Mustafi 6, Luis 7, Kolasinac 6, Ceballos 6, Xhaka 6, Willian 6. He's gone 6 all the way around. Willian 9, Pepe 7.5, Nketiah 7. And we've got Banjuri's Tube sub to sub me. Okay, my brother. G saying El Nene with 2 very good passes to create chances and Willock scoring the harder chance. And Cool K saying this is why I have time for Eddie and Willock. they back themselves, and they want to score and impact the game. Completely agree. Andrew, appreciate the donation there, man. Much respect to you, my brother. And thanks for tuning in on all the game watch-alongs that we do. It's really, really fun to have you guys along, man. We've got Danny. Danny, good to see you, bro. And hope the little baby is sleeping all the way through the night and not making too much noise for mum and dad. And hope to see you back on the panel soon. He's gone for Leno 5, Niles 5, Mustafi 4, Luis 7, Cola 6, Ceballos 6, Xhaka 5, Willian 6, and Nketiah 4.
What?
Wow.
He was one of those impacting players.
Well, yeah, that's a strange one. Pepe 6, and he's given Willock man of the match with 9. Much appreciated, bro. Mark, before you go, let me get mine off quickly. Leno 5, Maitland-Niles 6.5, Mustafi 6, Luis 7, Klasnach 6, Ceballos I give a 6, Xhaka I give a 6.5. I thought Xhaka did well today, especially in the second half. Willian, I thought Willian did okay, 6 for Willian, maybe 6.5. Willock was a 9, no doubt about that. Pepe, I give Pepe a goal and 2 assists. I'll go on, take an 8. A much improved second half and another goal as well. You seem to be scoring every game in the Europa. And Nketiah, I give a solid 7. Should have got the first goal, which was disallowed, and it shouldn't have been. And he was right there with the 2 own goals. It was the persistence from him and Willock that caused those 2 own goals. So in a way, he got those assists. So well done for Nketiah with that. Mark, you got the conch.
Okay, going back the other direction. I'm going to start with Nketiah, and I'm going to give him a 7.5. He only gets one of the assists on the OGs. One of them is Willock's. Willock's run in order to get there was absolutely outrageous. Admittedly, it was Eddie that played the ball in, but it's Willock's determination which gets him into the position that forces the defender into the mistake. Nketiah, for me, he's had a really decent game. It's a 7.5 because he's just unlucky. If luck goes with him today, he gets a hat-trick and an assist, and gets a 9. But unfortunately, that's not where it's gone. But it's not down to that's a good performance. Anything over a 7 is a good performance, and a 7.5 is a very good performance. For me, it's an 8. Despite being looking a bit like a show pony in the first in the first half with lots of interesting fancy footwork. Every time he actually decided it was now time to do something with the ball, he didn't do anything with the ball that was worth talking about. Second half was a very different story. There was a lot of threat on as he came in from the right hand flank. But then a part of that is down to the fact that we were getting the delivery coming from the left hand side in order to create chances. But for me, Pepe is a solid 8. I'm going to leave Willock. We'll come back to Willock. Willian had a solid first half without being spectacular. He looked more creative. He was more involved than he's been recently. For me, that's somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7. I'm going to just slip to a 6.5. Xhaka. Bless him. It's not down to a lack of effort. So you have to say he's either in the wrong position, he lacking in ability, or in the wrong team, because he doesn't look like a great player. He doesn't look, I know we say we can't criticize man because of his fee, but he doesn't look like good value for money. I still find the man disappointing. Today, maybe a 5.5, tops a 6. Ceballos in the second half, I think before the substitutions came, it was Dani Ceballos that suddenly stepped up a gear. He was stepping between players and finding balls from that sort of inside right slot to the left hand side, and was definitely the best player for Arsenal for a chunk of about 15 minutes before Willock again came back into his own. I in the first half played far too deep, and he's not a defensive midfielder. Play him as a defensive midfielder, and you won't see him. But put him in his right position, give him the opportunity to make that first touch and 5 to 10 yards surge, and then look up. That's what he's so good at. And so for me, he gets a 7. Kolasinac, some really good touch on the left. He did get involved in an advanced position, and they didn't expose him defensively. It's a solid performance. Again, 6.5. Luis gets a 6 a push. It was a silly challenge to give away a yellow card. It was a bit harsh, but why is he making contact with the player in that way? It's silly. It's not necessary. He thinks he's going to get away with things that he's not going to get away with. And sometimes he does that in the area, and we saw too many penalties last season as a result. Somebody's got excited about Biden. I'm hoping that means that a space just split, but we'll come back to that.
Big shout out to you, Jaden. Go on, Mark.
Louise, so Mustafi, again, a player that I'm very disappointed in. 5.5 for me. Maitland-Niles, I did think this was a particularly good game for Maitland. He's had some very decent games in the last 6 months. This was not one of his better. It's 5.5 for me. Leno, again, he's going to get 5.5. But it's not the terrible pass. It's the hesitation before the pass, because the pass ain't that bad. He gets the ball clear, a good distance, and he should have the right to expect his forward to make it difficult for the defender and for the midfield to respond faster than they do to the knockdown. But it's the delay, the fact he doesn't choose to give the ball early enough, and that's the reason why our fullbacks have also got way out of position because of the extra time he's taken, and that's the reason why I think we're so badly set up and get caught out. Man of the match is definitely Willock. I've heard a lot of 9s. I think, guys, you need to give yourself a bit more scope for when a man actually scores a hat-trick. I'm going to give him an 8.5. He's my man of the match, but he doesn't get a 9 from me. It's an 8.5 because it's possible to have a lot more in product than we saw today. He did really well, I'm really excited about his future.
I gave him a 9 because it wasn't just about end product. He had a hand in everything that was going forward. We're talking about, I'm going to come to Vincey next. Vincey says he didn't see the whole game. That's fine if he doesn't want to do the reviews, but I need to get Vincey to have his word on Willock. But for me, Willock was the total package today, and that means on and off the ball, his movement, set up play, the through balls, the energy, everything. That was a total performance. And it wasn't a fluke. He did it last week, and remember, even with
it looks like a genuine number 10. That this is something that we lack at the moment. He looks like a genuine number 10, a man who can not only get into the position to finish things, but who's creating as well. I mean, he's not Dennis Bergkamp. But that's the man who I want him to go. I want him to go away and watch what Dennis was doing here 10 and 15 years ago, and move in that direction. Gosh, no, it's more than 15, isn't it? I'm an old man,
He's been compared to Rocastle,
there is scope. Apparently, this season, 6 games, he's scored 2 goals and he's got 1 assist. So tonight is another step up. He got man of the match last time without playing as well as he did today. If we've got the right to be excited about these young players. Him and Saka are quality. Nketiah is quality. And at the moment we're looking, we're looking like we've got the right to be excited about what's coming next, which is good because there's a lot of old men playing for us as well. It's been a good night.
The funny thing about this, Vincey, is last year we bought Pepe, and then Saka came onto the scene and everybody was like, what on earth is going on? And this year we've bought Willian to be that number 10, the instigator, the facilitator. And Willock now is just looking like money in the bank. Willock this season reminds me of Saka last season. It looks like it's finally the light bulb has come on. It looks like he's switched on. And when you look at the performances this guy's putting in, it's up here. It's about how hard do I want to run? How hard do I want to get into open spaces? How hard do I want to use my vision to see who's open and making runs? That is all in here. And that is what Pepe is lacking at the moment. And maybe to a point, Willian, this guy is switched on. And the one thing I want to say to you, Vincey, before you give your opinion on it, we've seen Callum Wilson and various players on different teams around the league, and they're playing their kids because they haven't got a choice, because they haven't got the big money, and they haven't, they've had to use the development. And if we didn't bring back Ceballos from loan, and if we didn't get Willian and strapped for cash, Willock would be starting. There would be, there's no two ways about it. He'd be starting. If Willock was playing on another team, you'd be able to see his mettle every single week. And it's a shame, really, that he's had to sort of come through this way, because we're not seeing this translate. Our problem is creativity, and we're not seeing this type of effort. And it is all about effort on a Sunday, on a weekend. What's your overall thoughts on Willock today?
I think he does awesome. I think it's great to see a young guy take his chance, as you're saying. We need that. We need that for my youngsters, and he's, as you say, it's in here. It's innate play in what he's doing, and as you said, he's picking up from where Saka left off last year. He's realizing right now, you know what, I need to stamp my game and my authority whenever I do get onto the pitch, and is now starting to think, as you have to start to consider, if Xhaka's performance is starting to drop and he's not starting and El Nene's starting and Willock's putting in these performances now, as you've said, it's only really a matter of time before Willock really does deserve a spot on the bench in the first team for him to come on. He looks passionate, confident, strong, and he's got that intent. Whenever he's playing, he's got a fire in his belly in a challenge. That's what we need. He's playing for the badge, So from a fan's perspective, for me, looking at young players coming through in the team and not shirking the responsibilities, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, when I joined the stream, the midfield looked disjointed to me, because I see Ceballos and then I'm wondering, okay, who's playing alongside him? Because the same thing I didn't like when I saw Partey playing and Xhaka playing is they were not side by side. But as the game went on, Willock was that driving force. He was that driving force in midfield, in which we need. So I'm so happy for him. I just hope Arteta doesn't just see him as a Europa player and really does give him that opportunity at some stage in the Premiership, because that type of intensity we can really deal with in the Premiership, even if El Nene is not on form. And we can't expect him to be lights out for the whole season.
Yeah,
but
true,
we need that energy in that position to remain alongside Partey. So
and the funny thing about El Nene is he came on with about 7 minutes to go and played 2 lovely balls into the box. I mean, El Nene, man, people talking about man playing the ball backwards and sideways, and all we've seen him do this season is set everything up, man. He's got the eye for creativity. And look, we're not even asking him for that. We're just asking El Nene to do your job as a holding midfielder. But my man is going over and above the call of duty with some of them balls I've seen him play.
And this is what you actually do need, because when you consider in previous games, Luiz was playing those balls from defence. So, you really want your central midfielder to be making those passes. It makes it even more viable for your team, left and right, for your Pepes to get in on goal. And so, I just love what I'm seeing with El Nene. I'm just loving him taking that responsibility to say, you know what, I'm going to impose my game alongside a Partey. Whenever I come on the pitch, I'm playing ball. Love it.
I can't wait. They're gonna have a challenge against Villa's amazing midfield on the weekend, and I cannot. That's the only thing I want to see. I want to see that battle in the midfield against Villa's two young, amazing players against our monsters in the midfield. That's something I can't wait for. And Neomis, before I let you go, I'm going to do G's numbers. Leno 5, Klasnech 5, Luis 7, Mustafi 5, Maitland-Niles 6, Xhaka 4. It's a bit harsh on Xhaka there. Ceballos 6, Willock 8.5, Willian 6, Pepe 8, Nketiah 7.5. Neomis, you got the conch.
So Leno, for me, I gave a 6. I thought he had an okay-ish game. I don't think he had much to do. Yeah, you could probably comment on the 2 goals conceded, but I thought overall he had a pretty decent performance. Maitland-Niles, I thought he did pretty well in the game. I gave him a 7. I thought that nothing really kind of got past him. I thought defensively he was really good, trying, to kind of progress forward as well. I want to see more of him. I hope Arteta starts to give him more chances. I don't know what's happened ever since
what do you need to do?
signed his
Every week
contract.
he's getting goals and every week he's getting assists. What?
Yeah. I don't know what to say about Maitland-Niles.
Sorry. I thought you was talking about Pepe. All right, my bad.
Oh,
my bad. Sorry.
Don't worry. I'll get to Pepe. Don't worry. Pepe had a good game. Don't get me wrong. He had a good game. I'll get to him. Mustafi, I gave a 5.5. I thought he was a little poor in the first half, but as the game went on, he got better throughout the game. Similar with David Luiz, I gave him a 6. I think he was slightly a bit better than Mustafi. But yeah, I think overall, as the game went on, he did his job pretty good. Kolasinac, I'm going to give a 6. I thought wasn't really a problem defensively. Got forward pretty well. Had some good deliveries into the box. I thought going forward he was pretty good. Yeah, I think for me, Kolasinac is kind of confirmed now for me to be a little bit of a Europa League player. I don't think we're ever going to have that much problem with Kolasinac in the Europa League. So I gave him a 6. Ceballos, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought he started slow in the first half. And I think I know the reason why that is because Ceballos is supposed to be like an 8, but he's not. He plays the way how he always plays is almost like a defensive midfielder. I mean, this is a guy that played, I think you said played for the under 21s, I think for Spain, and was like man of the tournament.
Yeah. In the World Cup under 21s, he was the best player in the tournament. But he was playing in the front 3 position, and Arteta knows that. He's not. He's notoriously he's not a holding midfielder. He's an attacking.
The thing is, like, you say that in the attacking side, but I've never really seen him really take command of a game attacking wise. Not like what we saw from Willock. I mean, even what I've seen from Willian at his best. Like, I've never really seen that from Ceballos. I mean, I think Ceballos, for the times he's played at Arsenal, has played well, but it's been more of a defensive type role. And yeah, there's been times where he's kind of gone forward and tried to create chances that way, but I want to see more on that attacking side from Ceballos. I think if he's ever looking to play for Arsenal long term, I think that's the side of him that we need to see more. Maybe it's a tactics thing from Arteta. Maybe that's kind of limiting him in his game. But I want to see more from Ceballos because I'm a fan of his. Xhaka, begrudgingly, I have to say I gave him a 6. I thought he did pretty well for the most part. I don't want to see him in the Premier League, to be really honest. He can stay in the Europa League as far as I'm concerned.
Amen to that.
Willian, I gave a 6.5. I thought this game was a bit of an improvement. You can tell confidence-wise, it's been a journey for him, and I think he probably needs to continue playing to kind of get his confidence back up. The amount of money that we're playing him, like you guys have said earlier on, you kind of have to play him. So yeah, it's good that he had a good game. Willock, for me, gets my man of the match. I'm going to give him a 9 for a lot of the reasons that you guys have said. I give him an extra marks, probably an extra 0.5, just because this is a young player coming through our academy. He doesn't get a lot of games, and when he's called upon, he comes on the pitch and he performs. This is if I was Willock, I would have been so annoyed that I was your highest scoring central midfield player. I've scored more goals than Ceballos and Granit Xhaka, and you've benched me from the start of the season. Like, I have not played 90 minutes in the Premier League, and you're going to do me like that. I'd be highly upset. But Willock, he's just got the mentality, just comes in, does his thing, works hard, shows Arteta what he can do. So I think he's got a great student mentality. Played well in the game, scored great goals. I mean, what more can you say from him? A great game from him, and I hope he gets more opportunity. Pepe now.
Right, before you go on to Pepe, this guy is supposed to be playing to get into the first team. Yes. In four games, in 4 starts, he has 3 goals and 2 assists.
Yes. So for me, I gave Pepe an 8. I thought he had a very good game. His production, brilliant. And like you said, in these last games in the Europa League, I think he's done really well. And he must be asking, when am I going to start in the Premier League? Because I definitely think that he deserves to get another crack at the whip in the Premier League. But I do understand why people are frustrated by him, because there were times in this game that I felt that, that final ball could have been better, that final pass. And I think that I expect more from him because of the amount that we paid for him. And that's something that I just cannot shake, because if Pepe was 23 years old and we paid 25 mil for him, I'd be giving Pepe probably joint man of the match with Willock, to be really honest. But it's that price tag that's...
And I think we put too much pressure on him. I'm looking at Arsenal's providers now, and the fact that he's got 3 goals and 2 assists, he's had a hand in more goals for Arsenal than any player this season. That is a fact. There's no, but I know Lacazette's had the 3 goals. Aubameyang's chipped in with a few, but production-wise, he's had a hand in 5 goals. No Arsenal player has achieved that this season. I mean, and we're here saying he needs to do more. He needs to, even I was saying that. I'm guilty as well. Like, in the first half, I thought he was stinking it up. But and this is the problem Arteta has. He's phases in and out of games. He's not switched on all the time. So what do? What you can't do is not play him. You have to play him. He's got that talent. He's going to come up with goals. He's going to, was it Rapid Wien? Quiet for the whole game. And then bang, he hits that 40-yard pass to Luiz, and Luiz scores, and he gets the assist. And he just does, his delivery, he lights up a game. And if he's giving you that production, 3 goals, 2 assists, you got to play the guy.
But do you not think? But do you not think that's down to the manager making sure that he plays him on the right side of the pitch?
I think that to me is secondary. You can't, if he's not on the pitch in the first place, that's your problem right there. Once he's on the pitch, then you can figure out the intangibles. But right now, it's getting him kitted up and getting him on the field where he can make a difference. Because even if he's not making runs or shooting on goal or anything like that, he's taking corners, he's taking free kicks, he's all these things he's the best in the team at. But he's not playing. And that is hurting us big time, man.
We definitely need to find a way to get the best out of him, because even when I've seen him in the Premier League, with him kind of in this game as well, it's just a matter of consistency throughout the minutes that he's on the pitch. I think because of the opposition, he probably got into the right spaces. But maybe in the Premier League, like, teams have kind of figured him out. Players are much more smarter and just better quality of players. But it's just that
we saw him playing through the middle today. In the second half, he did all of his damage playing through the middle.
Well, see, again, that's a problem, because are you going to drop Lacazette? Because Arteta doesn't seem to think that he wants to drop. I've been calling Eddie to play through the middle. But
Yeah, sorry. When I mean the middle, I mean he was in the number 10. He was sitting behind Nketiah, and he allowed Willock to make runs forward, and he sat back. This is where Bertram keeps saying that he should be playing. Bertram says he should play as a number 10 because he can then use his movement to go left or right. But his passing is so good. Look at the balls he was playing through today. I mean, the team is seriously lacking that creativity.
But don't you think that probably a reason why Arteta doesn't want to do that is because he's so stuck on this one formation to kind of stick with that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Pepe probably would work well at a number 10. I've heard this last season with other channels as well. Like, he has all the characteristics that we need. He can hold the ball up pretty well, which is the only really part that I think why you play Lacazette to even begin with. But yeah, it's really up to Arteta now and what he wants to do with Pepe kind of going forward. I think Pepe should have a little bit more of a free role where he can come and play in the number 10, play out wide right or wide left, depending on the situation. Probably what's best for him.
A little bit like what he does with Saka at the moment. If you notice the way how Saka plays in the first team, he's got that ability to go where he wants. He can go left, he can sit back as a facilitator, he can play the 8, he can play the 10, he can go in the pivot, and then he'll go on the right when he needs to. And I like that about him. To trust such a young player at 19 years old who's British with that kind of responsibility for a team like Arsenal is gold.
Apollo, Saka, for me, like last season when they looked at Saka's stats, and I think he got 11 assists last season.
14
assists.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a teenager since Cesc Fabregas to get that level of assists, double-digit assists in a season. Since that's the type of caliber of player that we are looking at. A potential world-class player, and Martinelli's going to be the same thing. And I keep trying to tell people that for me, Saka is not the rule; he's the exception. Which is why you can't compare a Willock to Saka or and Nketiah, because Saka for me over the next few years is going to be one of the world's best players in his position. And I'm really looking forward to seeing like how well that he develops, because I think not only are we going to continue to see assists in his game, but we're going to see some goals as well.
I got a text from Colin yesterday. They were doing play evaluations when they were talking to Vinay, and Saka's number came out at 89.2 million or something like that. It was done in euros. So I think it was 95 million euros or something crazy like that. And Colin said to me, "Wow, Apollo, a Saka evaluation official at 89.2 million."
I can believe that, because it's only that kind of number that, I mean, the guy's going to be great. He's the next, I don't want to say Jadon Sancho type. Like he's there. Like the sky's the limit for Saka and Martinelli, in my opinion. But yeah, let me Eddie Nketiah, I gave a 7. I would give him more, but it's unfortunate that he didn't score a goal. Worked very hard, great positions throughout the game, and
Oh, we've lost you there. We've lost you, Neomis.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to see Eddie Nketiah get more games in the Premier League. I just think that there's so much there, and Eddie getting more experience is going to save Arsenal money in the long run. So for me, yeah, that was a good performance by everyone.
Excellent. So, D, before I come to you guys, let me just go to the guys in the chat. D is saying he needs to start. He won't get it here right now, and that still doubts as whether he's physically ready to handle the rigors of the Premier League. I think he will, because I mentioned that there are players on other teams that are already starting and already impressing. We've seen them on various different teams. And if Willock was playing for like a Brighton or a Southampton or even at Aston Villa, he would be one of the bright young stars of the Premier League. And he isn't at the moment because he's not starting for Arsenal. 18 is saying Eddie and Willock need to play in the first team. Totally agree. D's saying Eddie needs to start. I totally agree. Adrian saying, I feel he needs a run of 8 to 10 games playing up until the 80th minute. Yeah, I totally agree. Why they're not giving him the chance, though, is beyond me. I'm not too sure. D is saying, that's what I think, Apollo. I thought Pepe went inside a lot more in a number 10 role today. Yeah, he did, bro, which is where he's done most of his damage. He certainly doesn't have the aggression to play out wide. I think you're spot on, 100%. Eddie was poor for you. Yeah, none of us on the panel really saw that. Yeah, we didn't see that, Adrian.
Wow.
Vince, go on.
Yeah, I was just following on what Nermis was saying. That's why for me personally, last season, I rated Saka ahead of Leno for player of the season. Based on, I know at the start Leno was outstanding, but you got to look at the context of Saka, his age, what he produced last season was off the charts. Yeah, and that valuation is spot on for a player who's producing in his second season.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, Mark, did you want to say something, or was it Ebony?
I've heard
Yeah, go on, Mark.
I wanted to say we're very impressed by what Will has done today. But if we're gonna find him a space in the first team, we've got to take somebody out. We've got to do some rearranging. Where do you think he actually fits in? And does he fit in to the shape that we're currently playing? I think we need to rearrange if he doesn't. But I don't think he's fitting into the current shape, because I don't think we really play with a number 10.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you're looking for that type of Kevin De Bruyne role where you have and that's why we've got Willian. Willian is a hybrid winger, striker, number 10. He'll do everything for you, but it's all about creativity. And with Willian, I don't see Willian. I haven't seen him creating too many chances in the last month, but it's not. And I know he has it in him, so I'm not going to doubt any of that at all. What the thing is, from that position, running into the box is a skill or will. You've either got the skill to do it, or you've either got the will to do it. And Willian, much like Ceballos, doesn't have the will. They're not interested in getting into the box. Willock is. So, that's something he chooses to do. And that is more than what we've got at the moment. And where is our primary problem? It's in the box. If you add another dimension next to Lacazette, or if it's Nketiah who's up there, and the defense has got more work to do, and it opens up space for other players, and we just don't have that at the moment. Seriously, I've been waiting a year for him to get to this point, and I love what I've been seeing from Willock, and I think he's arrived. I think he has arrived. These 2 games now have shown back-to-back commitment, skill, ability, vision. He's the whole package, and he'll run back and defend for you as well. And I think it's time that we give this guy a shot. Adrian is saying 4-3-3. He fits in. He totally does, bro. I want to see that desire and that urgency. I just want to see it in the first team, because we haven't seen it. And I know I've been an advocate for defending Willian, but my issue is you're not getting these players like Nketiah is getting 7 minutes or 8 minutes on the weekend in the league.
Not good enough.
That's not good enough.
I think with Nketiah, he should be played for at least 70 minutes, and then if you have to bring on Lacazette, do that. Because right now, and I tend to agree with everybody else that Nketiah is better than Lacazette right now.
And what it is when you're in a situation, and I've mentioned this 2 weeks ago, when you're in a situation with Arteta where it's not working, you have to do what you do in the NBA. You got to keep switching your hand until you find something that works. Don't sit on a problem, because a problem can digress and it can manifest all this ugliness because players can lose confidence. You need hunger. You need what happened when Nketiah came in to replace Lacazette last season. 2 things happened. We got to see how good Eddie was, and if it wasn't for the red card, only God knows what would have happened with him. But it also allowed it also allowed Lacazette to kick himself up the backside and work harder. Yeah, that's what it did. We saw a new Lacazette, a Lacazette that was playing with more effort and more commitment. That's what Eddie did to him. So could you imagine if Willian comes out and you put Willock in? Willock's not going to want to squander that opportunity. He's going to work his socks off, and that in its instance is going to improve Willian. Go on, Vincey.
I think, but just off the piggyback of what Ebony was saying, the reason why Lacazette is working his socks off is because in the midfield, you just mentioned Willock and how he's playing his natural game. He's putting himself about. If Willock was putting himself about, then we'd have a natural striker at top who'll be at the end of who'll be in the fox in the box type of player. When you get the crosses in, you're going to have somebody there, because you've noticed many times when the balls are coming in the Premiership, Lacazette's not there because he's done so much work back in the midfield. So this is something that Arteta is going to have to really work on in training, because that is what is compromising the team in taking these chances when you're having your fullbacks cross beautiful balls into the box and we don't have a striker and he's outnumbered.
And the thing is, when we do it on the weekend, there is nobody running onto the ball. But when you watch the Europa League, Eddie is always running in on those crosses, and Willock ain't too far behind.
Yeah.
So it's like the number 18 bus on Harrow Road in London. You don't see any for God knows how long, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 turn up at once. You know, what these young kids are giving you is, in terms of effort and urgency, is something we're lacking in the league. This is Facebook user. Just checked. It's Dave. Is it Dave? It's James. Nice one to see you, James. James is saying David Luiz is bringing so much more to this club than just defensive skills. The benefit of his experience and bringing through the younger players should not be underestimated. James, I talk about that all the time, and I reference, but when Bukayo Saka signed his contract, they said to him, who's been the biggest influence on you since you've been playing in the first team? His exact words were, I don't want to single out any player because I don't want my teammates to feel bad. But he said, David Luiz has been an immense teacher and just someone who's showed me exactly what I needed to do to step up and play at this level. And when you hear our best young player talk about David Luiz like that, it is just brilliant. It's immense. And I've always been a Luiz fan, and I've been a critic as well. I know a lot of people have had bad things to say, and I've said them as well. But I've always tried to defend his experience and the fact that what this guy's done at every level, where, you know, whether it's been World Cup, Champions League, come on, man, you can't. He's playing in probably the most critical position that any player could. You know, if you're a striker and you miss a chance, you might get booed for it, but people ain't going to chastise you for it. If you're a defender and you make a mistake and it costs the team, you got to wear that. You got to wear that for weeks, for months, sometimes for years. If you're a man like Mustafi, Mustafi's put so much scars on Arsenal fans that no matter what he does, no man ain't gonna kind of redeem him in the way that he needs to. But unfortunately, that's the position that you play, isn't it? So, guys, has anybody got any last comments before we shut it down?
We got to win against Villa.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can. I think is that away? Is that at Villa Park?
I think it's actually home.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check.
I think it's pay-per-view, and I'm looking. So
it's home. It's home. Yeah, it's home.
Is that home?
Yeah,
I hope it's not pay-per-view.
No, pay-per-view stops after this weekend. Pay-per-view stops after this weekend. It's a 7:15 kickoff.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. So, Vincey,
that'll be quite interesting, actually. That'll be interesting.
Vincey, it's Skins Giants at 6 o'clock.
You know what?
I'm going to leave you lot to cover the Arsenal game.
That's what I was about to
say. Seriously, man.
Sunday football, man.
Just to confirm, Sky Sports box office. 7:15 kickoff.
It's all right. We've got means and ways of watching that.
We'll pay for Sky Sports for a month, and then they go and screw you over like this.
Yeah, it is. It is. Look,
As I
at
said,
least,
we've already had
Links.
one of these. I'm not paying for it.
yeah, nobody
Neither am
is,
I.
bro. Nobody is, man.
Links, guys, links.
Oh, we don't.
Links,
We don't.
what's
pay.
deodorant.
We don't.
We don't links deodorant. We don't advertise any of them dodgy things. That's like when Vince is the man. He's got the hook. He's got the hook. He likes to go swimming in
Sometimes
small
I have to go
rivers.
to Brazil for my links, but you know, as Apollo
Swimming in a small river, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Linksy.
Them
Linksy.
Guys and girls, it's been a pleasure. But
Do not ask Apollo. Do not ask for Apollo for links. You just get Brazilian butts.
Yeah, that's not. Oh God, that's unbelievable.
Happily married man. Don't need that. Don't need. I'm going to see a Peckham go about.
By the way, so you guys know it's actually next week's actually going to be my 25th wedding anniversary. So yeah, I need to.
Congrats to you and Lisa.
Need to get in there, man. So yeah. But listen, guys, we're going to be back on Sunday with a live Aston Villa versus Arsenal tonight.
Arsenal.
I thought we did really well. Arsenal, guys turned up. Willock, Nketiah, Pepe, some amazing performances from them. It's 3 points from 3 Europa League games now, guys. We're 3 points clear of Molde at the top of Group B as we race towards qualifications for the knockout round. So that's it from us today, guys. See you later. Tomorrow night, we're back at 10 o'clock with the Premier League show, and we'll be talking about last week's results. So tune in if you can. Peace, guys. Right back at you. Nice one. Back to CNN.
Good night.
CNN. See you guys later, man.
Take it easy.
Bye.